What is up, everybody? Destin Legare here for IGN. I'm joined today by Vince and the guys from Double Helix, David and Rich. Guys, how's it going?
Pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
It's gonna be killer today, man.
Yeah, we're doing
you
it.
think so?
We're gonna do it.
So, who are we talking about today? The character everybody's excited for.
It is B Orchid.
That's right.
Talking about Orchid.
Nice.
Okay, so first up, we just want to see her in action. So why don't we just hop into a match and get it started? No reason to beat around the bush.
Nope.
No reason to tease her anymore. You've been waiting long enough.
It is time.
Let's see what she can do.
And
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I've heard,
Yeah.
Dave, that you got some dirty stuff with Orchid. Some of the filthy stuff. I want to see it.
Some filthy stuff.
Rich has been teaching me the filthy stuff.
That's what Rich is all about. Is all the filthy stuff. There she is.
All right, there she is in action. You didn't accidentally go to her this time.
You blowing up right now? We got blow ups right now.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about your design choices?
So, I think, Orchid has always been known as sort of the sex symbol of AI. And I think what we wanted to do was sort of retain that femininity, but sort of give her a more modern look. Really bring out some of the more fighter aspects of her, not just play up the sort of sex appeal of her. So,
Which I love. Like, I saw that. I noticed that right during her reveal, and I was really happy with that. She looks like a fighter. She looks like she's ready to kick some ass, not show some ass. And I appreciate that.
yeah, so you'll see a lot of the design choices we went with from the art style is really playing up this super spy element of her, right? Like, so that's been a part of her backstory. So you'll see like the goggles rather than the headband. It's more functional versus just aesthetic.
And there's her little kicky moves.
Yeah.
Her flip kicks.
We're gonna
Flick
see.
flack.
We're gonna see flick flack.
Pure flick flack in the quick punch, right?
Endless flick flacks.
Yeah.
So do we want to just play or maybe go through some of her moves
let's talk
first?
about her combat. What does she have at her disposal?
So some of the big
Yeah,
things.
there's a slide.
The slide is one of her great specials. She's got 3 different versions: light, medium, heavy. They go different distances. They will go under fireballs, which is a really nice attribute of them. The heavier versions are negative on block and punishable, so you got to watch out a little bit. But it's a great way to rush in. And I'll let Rich build up a little meter here, and then when you shadow the knee slide, you get.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Are you ready at home?
This is
Yeah.
pretty ready.
She does it. Everybody was thinking it would be a projectile only. That is super exciting. She still turns in the tiger.
The fire cat is
Fire
back.
cat is
Fire
back.
And that's fully projectile invulnerable, so great way to deal with pressure. So let's talk about some of the other things. We saw flick flack in the intro. The handstand kick is back. Great way to sort of deal with pressure up close. It's low crush.
Yeah, low crushes, which is great. So for those of you at home that don't know what that means that it's invulnerable to lows. So if you use it on reaction to someone doing a low attack, you can just beat it.
Someone's sitting there hitting you with jab. You just throw that. And
Yep.
Yeah, although jabs sometimes hit mid. It's better against like crouching medium kicks, things like
right,
that. Yeah.
that are usually low.
It serves as a linker also. It's a really cool ender. Rich will show you here. It's what we call an exchange launcher. So not only does it launch, but it switches sides. So really cool for positioning. Just all around solid move.
nice.
So really good if you're stuck in the corner and you manage to land a hit and you want to get yourself out of the corner quickly. Set up some Oki.
So what about her instinct? Do we want to wait for that? It looks like when
Let's
you have
talk
a full meter.
Oh yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Well, let's just play it by ear here. So her instinct mode brings back the fire cat as a projectile.
Okay.
So Rich. It's on me. Okay. So it hits mid, and you can do some neat setups like throw it out, jump over.
So after you activate it the first time, do you just keep hitting your instinct to bring it out
Yeah,
again?
just much like Sadira's heavy punch, heavy kick will unleash a fire cat.
And that reminds me so much of like a Marvel assist because you can just call it while you're in the air. You can call it when you're in recovery from a normal,
It's very versatile. The mix-up potential is just crazy. It really sort of, solidifies a rushdown game.
Yeah, I mean, you can use that in combination with, she's got a great cross-up with
Yeah,
jumping middle
kick, right? Yeah.
You could do that or maybe jump in and not press the actual attack and do a low right away. So like, some fighting game terminology, stuff like that. And people will find some crazy mix-ups with her. She has great ways to open people up, especially with that activated.
So I gotta ask you a question. Her outro just played. What is that she said?
Oh, God.
What was it?
Oh, boy.
It seems like she mentioned
Just say
a
it.
certain
Just say
corporation.
it.
Ultratech? Is this the first mention of Ultratech?
Hard-hitting journalism.
Yes.
She is
Answer the
one
hard
step
questions.
closer, is all we can say right now.
All right. Well, hopefully she finds them and some of their robot
Yes.
facilities, if you know what I'm saying.
I would be a big fan of them finding said robot facilities.
So why don't we get into her Rekkas a little bit, because I think that's one of the defining moves of her in this iteration.
Yeah, totally new.
So the Rekkas now can be, you do 3 of them. You start with quarter circle forward punch, and then you just have to hit punch the second time to do the 2 and the 3. What's neat about it is the last punch, the light is a low, so Rich will show you here, and then the medium is an overhead. And then the heavy is a chargeable mid. So if you do it quick, but then you can charge it and it becomes unblockable. So all sorts of mind games you can do here. You can do 1-2, stop. You can go into the third. If you see him blocking, you can go into the charge. What's really neat about the charge is that, normally a Rekka is going to be negative on block if it's blocked. But you charge it, and then it'll become even and then even positive. So
yeah, and how long? Nice. Yeah, and that's another thing. Talk about it.
Let's talk about what we just saw there. If
see?
you were paying attention, I'm pretty sure that was a bounce.
So what happened there, and I'll just repro the combo again. Basically, I did the HD Sun Rekka, threw him in the air, and did the very first air grab.
Yeah, in Killer Instinct. That's what I want to say. The very first time it's ever happened. Very cool.
Property-wise, the move's great. It's a great way to continue off combos because it puts you in the ground bounce state.
Yep.
So they bounce off the ground, and you continue onward with more combos.
Or really sick reset.
Or really sick resets.
Yeah.
Jump over, not do anything again, and who knows what you can come up with when you have instinct mode activated.
That is nice. Now, her Fire Cat doesn't just go one direction this time. Like, it's not just a forward-moving trait. Like, you can also, it looks like it kind of goes at an upward angle,
so the last special we haven't talked about is her Air Buster.
Okay.
It's her sort of Dragon Punch-esque move. It's good for, wake up, things like that.
Is that invincible on startup?
Yeah, invincible on startup until active. It's active in 3 frames.
Oh, wow.
And what's great about it is if Rich does the Shadow version here, you bring out the cat.
The upper cat.
Yes, and the one cool thing there is that there's an extension of the air grab afterward.
Right,
so, just exactly how we did it earlier, but another way to go into it, and basically a combination of 2 special moves in one. A great way to kick some butt.
Yeah, man. Now she has an ender that you can jump cancel, I believe, as well, right? And you can go into the air grab from there.
Yes.
So that's the Rekka ender.
Beautiful.
So jump cancel into throw, or you can do other things.
The one thing I wanted to show, because we haven't got, if you could block, I'm just going to build a little bit of meter.
Yeah, go for it.
The Shadow version of the Rekka, or HD Sun, is chargeable. And just to pay homage back to some of the old school stuff, like where the stick gets bigger, the batons like combine, like that's back. But if you fully charge that thing, and it's within the combo, you get the reset. Or if you get them on knockdown and you get them to kind of like fidget block the whole way, full unblockable, and then there's some cool stuff that you can.
Oh, she still gets pouty when she wins. That's so cool.
So that's a really cool tool. It's good for juggle continuation combos. Like if I did the HD Sun Ender, I can follow with that. If I'm in corner, do another air throw. So yes, lots of crazy combo potential with her.
Yeah, I really think it's. I mean, I really don't love it because it was blowing me up before, but I do think it's interesting that her flick flag crushes lows now.
Yes.
So especially in this game, I feel like the walk speed is better, so people are gonna want to play footsies a little bit more, especially Jago with like low medium kick. So people who just kind of walk right into your footsie range, they want to throw out a little poke. You just do that flick flack and just blows them up, and I think that's great. Like I love all the little mind games that are embedded in the game this time around, like a lot more so than the old arcade ones.
And what's nice about her, I mean, since we're talking about navigation, she right now has the fastest navigation in the game. Great backdash for, there's a few frames of invincibility.
I was going to ask, is that invincible backdash?
Not throughout the entire thing, but there are those frames in there where you can evade certain situations that other guys can't.
Does every character have a few frames of invincibility on their backdash? Is it different for different characters?
Everyone has 7 frames of invincibility.
Oh, it's 7 frames universal. Okay, okay. That's a good amount. It's not too much. It's not overdoing it.
Yeah. And I think the one move that we didn't get to cover is kind of her
overhead,
which is her command attack.
So
It's,
the cartwheel kick, forward heavy kick.
Okay.
Hits twice, and what's neat, since she's got the low special, you can do like overhead into low.
Yeah,
To make
nice.
sure
Nice.
people are really on tilt with their blocking.
Gotta pay attention when you're fighting, it sounds like.
Another move of hers that's sort of neat, just in the normal, I love her sweep. Double hitting sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really.
I think the animation on Orchid is just beautiful.
So there's one other move we haven't seen
Ah,
yet.
yeah.
Her Ultra. You know, do you think you could give us a little demonstration, or perhaps we should finish this match and check out her stage and do it there?
I think that's
possible?
I think that's a good idea. I think the audience is ready to see some matches,
Yeah.
some matches.
Check it out.
Ooh, here we go.
Nice.
Uppercut.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, went for another one.
So we'll get we'll queue up her stage. Right now, you guys can chat about all that stuff. Like,
Okay.
you brought the Xbox One, so like you still have to do everything as you normally would. So you guys can set up your stuff. I'll set up the stage for everybody so we can hop right in there.
Okay, so if we could bring it back to us, you know, sitting here on the couch together, Rich is going to get that set up for us. Now, I am super excited about this character. This is my main character from Killer
Really?
Instinct 1, so it's so great to see her back. Some of the inspirations for her stage design, like we'll see it here in just a second, but why don't you tell us a bit about what we'll be seeing?
Yeah, so you'll see, rather than on the rooftops here, we're going to be sort of in a destroyed skyscraper. It's sort of a really sort of, you know, we call it the Rebel Outpost again. And you'll see it's really in this war-torn area. It sort of goes to her story of being a spy, a little bit maybe outcast now. So really beautiful stage. Love the way the Ultra works on it. You'll see like the buildings in the background start to collapse. There's
Nice.
sort of helicopter drones flying throughout. So really sort of an epic stage with a cool Ultra finish.
Sweet.
The ultra finishes on some of these stages are like the one in the rain is
Yeah.
really amazing.
Yeah.
Really special.
And I
Are you
think
guys ready to
we're
show
all
it?
set up.
Cool.
All right.
All right, sweet. So
Yeah,
let's put Orchid against somebody who's not Orchid. Like, how
don't
is
you
she
play
gonna
Orchid?
deal with a Jago? Jago seems like her brother, you know.
Yeah.
Well, he
Oh,
is her brother, and you know, how's she gonna deal with
you
some of the
play
stuff that's thrown her way?
Great question. So I think obviously Jago, the fireball is one of the bigger differences between
Yeah.
brother and sister. She's got some good tools to deal with that.
With meter and without meter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with meter, she can obviously do the fire cat towards. Without, she can do the slide. She's got great jumping attacks, obviously, and with the air throw, if you can get people to jump at you, it's great. So
So here's her stage for the first time. Jago's hanging out in the corner,
meditating.
hanging at her sister's pad, his sister's pad.
Target spotted.
Oh, I love the background.
She
here.
does not like her brother.
That's cold.
Okay.
Sibling rivalry.
That's cold.
there.
See, right there at the start of the stage, you see like a lot of Jago players are going to want to come right out with an Ken, but
Yeah.
you really can't afford to do that against.
You saw what
against
happens
Orchid.
when I did that.
exactly. Uppercut.
Cash it in.
All right, no more fireballs.
Oh, wow!
nice.
Caught you looking.
Swerving.
Caught you looking.
Sweet. I like that there's money flowing all over the place at nearly all times. She has some investment capital with her little setup here.
I still love the way all the particles
Oh.
come raining down. So
Back jump into air throw. Nice punish.
Ooh, nice break. Ooh.
Okay.
I
Thought you would have missed Cleo.
We're gonna
Thought you
get-
had the read.
Oh,
Ooh.
nice.
Oh, feels so good. Good shot. Oh, wow.
So why don't you talk about shadow counters? What did we just see there?
So Shadow Counter is a great defensive move in this game. Basically, whenever you're in block stun, if you've got one segment of Shadow Meter, you can hit middle punch, middle kick, and that will go into a counter pose. And if you get hit again in the first 15 frames of that
Two
counter
them,
pose,
like low.
okay, I'll do, oh, sorry. So you see I got hit while the counter pose is up, then you'll automatically go into a Shadow Linker and start a combo. So great.
Big
Oh, that's
That
setup. That was so dirty.
crazy.
It's a wrap. Pack it up. That was sick. So what you did there was you instinct canceled out of that sequence you were in to bring out the cat, and then you jumped and air through them, knowing that they would go over it.
I mean, what I did exactly was I did the launcher ender and I activated the cat, knowing that the launcher was going to hit.
Right.
So knowing that the cat was going to traverse through the screen at that point, he was going to bounce off the cat, so I could just look cool when I did it. Could I have jumped up and done the air throw? Hell yeah.
You
but
could have.
I wouldn't have been that cool.
But that wouldn't have been disrespectful enough.
Yes.
Ooh.
There you go.
Watch the building
Watch
in the background.
background.
Let's see what you got.
Oh.
Fraud.
Brought it out.
Fraudulence.
Brought it out. It's not a real Ultra unless it's 70 hits or more, Rich. That don't
No,
count.
So this match, I mean, it's pretty good. What happens here is that Jago's going to be very limited in wanting to throw out that Endo Kuken, just
Right.
because of that slide.
It takes that tool away from him almost
We'll
completely.
slide in the cat.
But what happens is, if Jago really wants, he can start to really bait out the slides just to close that distance.
Yeah.
Because Jago is really, really strong at that distance. Like her strong points in fighting are really, based off of, starting a 2-1 from her normal move. So like her standing middle punch, has great range, 2-1 cancelable, and is just something that gets you out of a lot of bad situations. And then from that point, you want to try to work off as much as you can from like a knockdown situation to create a mix-up from the overhead and perhaps a slide. And a lot of it is really dependent on meter. Like how much meter can I gain in the duration of this fight? Swag.
I love that.
Yeah, and I feel like the Rekka mix-up is going to be really, really, really good.
So the Rekka mix-up is good, but one thing that we didn't get to mention earlier is that the mix-up between the low and the mid overhead are unsafe. So if I do the overhead right now, David could punish me pretty
Right,
much.
and that's good. Like, and when you have like basically a 50-50 like that, I feel like if the person blocks properly, they should be rewarded with an opportunity. That's one of the things that I don't like about like say like Ultimate Marvel is that a lot of times you're blocking these really tough setups, but you don't necessarily always get rewarded for it. And I really think that blocking well should be rewarded in games. Like good defense should be something that earns you something.
Absolutely.
I feel.
And this is a perfect example.
There you
Like
go.
her
You
being
just
able
can't
to react.
you just can't throw an Endo Kuken at that range against it.
Well, I think what happened there was that I had meter to be able to react to it. And since shadow moves have just like such a fast active, like it activates right away, I can react like almost. They say like I'm not gonna get baited right now.
I'm throwing out
But I could though, and that would have like led me to do the heavy slide, and I could have got punished for it.
Right, or you could like there's a certain range at which he could throw out the jab and no Q-can, and you could slide under it, and he could recover in time to block it and punish it, or you could, but then you could take that to the next level, right? And you could do like the light slide, stop just short, go under the fireball, stop just short of him, and then maybe throw him or overhead or whatever, or jump over him.
So I think right now I got some meter. I'm down to about half life. Like I'm gonna mix it up.
Nope. You tried to get the meaty cat.
Oh,
I got baited.
I did it too early.
I kind of like that it's a projectile and that she can like turn into a cat. Like, yeah.
So one of the things that I love about this game so far, from what I've played of it, is that before it was all about combos, which it still is about combos in a very big way. That was kind of like Killer Instinct's claim to fame back in the day, before combos were like a common huge thing. But now, one of the criticisms that people always had of it back then as a fighting game is that, you get hit and you just kind of stand there and you wait, and then the game goes on after that. Here, combos are like the neutral game, or like the mix-ups and the mind games continue on and continue to happen inside the combo because of combo breakers and counter breakers. Can you guys talk a little bit more about the relationship between combo breakers and counter breakers, and how like they create and resets even, and how that creates like a mind game within the combo?
yeah, absolutely. I think that's exactly what we were going for, trying to make that sort of game within a combo as rich and as interesting as the neutral game.
Right.
We sort of wanted to build in those mind games. So basically, the core of it starts with the doubles, right? Because you've got the heavy ones, which do way more damage, but are much easier to break, and then the light ones, which are very quick, but hard to break. So,
right, because breaks are based on the strength of the move, and then the person on the receiving end has to match the strength of the move.
Exactly. So Just there it starts. Like, am I going to go heavy to try to get max damage, or am I going to go light to just get the combo? So that's sort of the first layer. And then, the second layer comes in that I might start training you, right? Like, I'm going to start leaning on heavy doubles over and over, and you're like, all right, I'm done. I'm not taking any more of this damage. Oh, sorry. And after then I train you, I go into a counter breaker and sort of get some big damage. What's nice about the counter breaker is they're locked out for 4 seconds. And it resets the KV, so you can do big damage combos.
All right, so just in case, some people at home might not know all the systems involved there. So first off, like, how do you do a counter breaker?
So counter breaker is just medium punch, medium kick.
While you're in the middle of a combo.
Yeah, and it'll cancel anywhere it is. So there, you can use it on a linker. The only thing you can't do is on an ender, but on any double, you can cancel.
And you take that pose.
Yeah, and you can do it anywhere in the animation. So it's really tricky, and it's like this sort of, especially with the heavies, it's like this waiting game. Like, am I going to do it? Am I not going to do it?
Right.
And like, you wait until that last moment.
So you do that in the middle of a combo, and if the other person was going for a combo breaker at that same moment, then the counter breaker lands.
Yeah.
And then that has some cool effects too. You were talking about how it affects the KV meter. So why don't you explain to the audience a little bit what the KV meter is and how that works with the combo system?
Perfect. So the KV meter, you can see it right there on the right of the screen, is basically what determines how long a combo can go. So each hit in a combo will add a little bit to the KV. Depending on the hit move, it'll add more or less. And once it goes over 100, the next non-ender will blow out the combo. So in essence, end it. So the trick of the game is to try to do a lot of damage, like you see the KV going up, and then right before it hits, right before it goes over 100, you do a big ender for max damage.
Right.
So you got to sort of manage that resource. And the neat thing is the shadow moves don't do any KV, right? So if you've got
they're it's like free damage and free hits being added to your combo. Now then,
although not completely free, because they can be broken.
Oh,
like
sure, right.
Yeah.
But so then now going back to the counter breaker for a second. So what's unique about the way the KV works with counter breakers? What happens when you hit a counter breaker?
So the KV completely gets reset on a counter breaker.
Right.
So let me build up a little in here and maybe.
Do it on the second round.
So you see I'm back to 0.
Cool.
And I can continue to do big damage combo.
And this is a really great way to kind of punish and discourage people who are just kind of, not that you can mash out a combo breaker easily, because you still have to match up, but if someone is constantly breaking you at the same point, this is a way to make them back off, because essentially now they're going to open themselves up to taking a whole new set of damage and basically a whole new combo from the beginning.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And in fact, in some ways, that's where it started, because there's a group of people that always just combo break the second it starts. And yes, right? This is a way you can beat those guys out. If they're always trying a combo breaker right at the start, just throw out a counter breaker, and it'll beat that.
And I love that because, I mean, everyone loves to see long, awesome combos. No, it's not a fun game when you see someone get 2 hits in and then combo breaker, 2 hits in, combo breaker. So what this effectively does is it means that if you play the mind game right against your opponent, like, you can still get those long combos even if they know what you're doing, because you can just bait them.
Yeah, so that's all cool.
It's all very cool.
I was waiting to interrupt. I'm like,
Freaking awesome, Destin.
but I want to talk about another thing that's really cool. Good segue. Is these arcade sticks that you're playing on from Mad Catz.
Yes.
Come back to us really quick. Why don't you show these off? So these are Xbox One TE2 arcade sticks from Mad Catz. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that relationship?
So Mad Catz has been making really, really cool sticks, and what better way to play a fighting game, especially one that people remember most being played in the arcade by having it on a stick. So, I mean, the stick does a bunch of things. I know that you guys did your unboxing yesterday, but for me, like, I am a stick collector. Like, at home, I have close to like 400 sticks, and this is just one of them that like stands out for me, because like it has a lot of cool things for me, like as a player who likes to play in tournaments and stuff, because it has like the mesh on the bottom to keep it on the table. The size of it is really, really cool. I'm a geek with this stuff. I don't know if they're gonna get mad at me, but I love to modify my sticks. The plexi is actually made, it seems very easy to take out, and I can actually put in my own template in there. I know that the buttons, you know, you can either have them on or off. Why not bling it out if I'm just gonna be chilling and playing anyway? It doesn't use any battery. The cool thing that I like is
this is the best.
Is that when you open it, it's basically got all, you know, everything that you want, like as a modder. Or, you know, maybe I want to change out the silent buttons. Maybe I want to change out just to a different color, or whatever it is. The
You wanna
screwdriver's
rewire
in
your
here,
buttons.
and it's all like quick disconnect, so I love that part.
Change out
And
your gate. Do you play square gate or octo gate, Rich?
either one. Like
Either
I'm,
one.
I'm
Octo.
probably
You're Octo? Okay.
I'm probably one of the most flexible, guys with any type of design of the actual joystick. So I play everything from like München Korean joysticks
Wow,
to like
okay.
these types of sticks, and the buttons are cool. I like it, and the one thing that I've always had issue is like how close are my hands to the stick.
Yeah.
This one plays well for me.
Good space.
And I play on my lap as well, so the weight sticks out, and the width of the actual stick works really great. And the one thing that I'm waiting for is being able to wear it. I know that Mark at EVO was showing it around around his
It's
neck.
really cool.
I'm just gonna be chilling down in my hood.
It's
with
the
a stick on my
fashion
neck.
accessory
Like, what?
for 2014.
It's a stick and a stick bag all in one.
So it's a stick that's dedicated to KI, and I think that's one of the reasons why I can't say anything bad about it. It's awesome, dude. I
and
love
one
it.
of the first accessories that's coming out on the
For
Xbox
Xbox
One.
Right.
One.
So,
Yeah, it'll be available. Well, actually, they're sold out of pre-orders right now, aren't they?
That's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, like so
We've
you
been
guys,
busy.
they're
It's
selling
been
like
busy at the
hotcakes.
office.
So yeah, you'll be able to pick one up as soon as they restock.
I love the angles of it too. It doesn't have the typical TE, just kind of like a cut off box. This is a little more dynamic, which I like. Because Killer Instinct, part of its heritage is that 90s sci-fi cool cheese, kind of, and this to me it stands out from other sticks. It makes it feel distinctive and kind of futuristic in a way. So.
For me, I think it's also the first time that I've seen, I could be wrong here, there might be other sticks, but the first stick I've seen with the transparent buttons. So
right.
you can, it's easy to see the stick from afar when it's lit up, when you have it plugged in, and I just love that part. My wife is like, "What are you doing, man?" It's like, turn the light off, so I could turn the light off. It actually works out. So
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is Mad Catz' first stick that comes stock with light up buttons and with translucent buttons.
Well, let's hop into another match. Stop talking about our sticks and get back to the fighting.
what do we want to see?
Let's see. Bring it back to us quick. And I think that we need to see Orchid versus like a Thunder or something.
Oh, that's actually one of my favorite matches right now.
Because he's
I
a
can
big
see that.
grappler.
Yeah, and that's always an interesting matchup
It's
to
like
me.
a conflicting style.
Yeah,
between the two.
for me that's like Dudley Zangief in Street Fighter when I've got to be in close and I want to be in tight for my little mix-ups with my punches, and then I'm just always scared of that big grapple. I feel like that's going to be the way Orchid Thunder plays out. She's going to be in there with the Rekkas trying to mix you up high-low, or I can see you go to do a slide and then just get grabbed, like slide blocked and then grabbed.
Yeah.
So
I
can
mean,
see
what's
some
nice
interesting
about
dynamics
that
there.
match is that you have to be very smart with your resources. I think that the Orchid plays very, very well, especially if she has meter.
Yeah.
But then the same can be said about Thunder, who has a battery ender.
Yeah.
It enables him to rush down and build towards a meter game, and it could definitely work in his favor for all that.
And for people again who aren't familiar with all the terms with with Killer Instinct's kind of feature set, a battery ender is a specific kind of combo ender that builds a large amount of shadow meter. So
Yeah, I just gotta fix
just
this,
need to
configure
log
this real quick.
there's juggle enders, right, that can lead to juggle combos. There's wall splat ones that can lead to extended combos on the ground if you're in the corner. So ending your combo with different moves allows you to follow up in different ways and kind of helps you in different ways. So.
Vince, now that you've seen all the characters, who do you feel like is going to be your main?
Just go back.
go to
who's going to be
local
my
versus,
main?
and let me
It's really
sign
tough
Do you have a
because
favorite?
you're
How about
signed in
favorite?
together.
If I have a favorite, I feel like I think Glacius is a lot of fun. I think he's going to seem very strong in the early game because of his ability to control a lot of space with his limbs. He has that
You need to
unblockable
reset, I
kind of
think.
half screen, 3/4 screen projectile that comes up underneath. But I think
turn
once
on
people
and
figure
off
out
the
they can
console.
play it like the Dulcim matchup where you can kind of counter poke or short, because all his limbs when he sticks them out, they're hittable. Those are hittable boxes, and that projectile, the unblockable one, that's hittable also. You can short you that on reaction. So once people learn that matchup, it's actually I think going to be a tough time for Glacius. But I love characters that can control a lot of space, where you have to really learn their normals and know what parts of the screen you can threaten at what time. So I think I'll have fun playing him. Jago obviously has a wide variety of tools. He's very versatile. He can do a little bit of everything. He can zone effectively. He has good anti-air. He has good mix-ups. A great command overhead that you can combo off of. So yeah, I mean, right now it's tough. I've I played against a Sadira
Excuse me.
that the setups there with the double
Yeah.
jump
Yeah.
off of Widow's Bite, like Widow's Bite, and then like jump cancel over the person, and then stop the jump with the down command, the aerial
Yes.
down. It's like, what is that called? The down and hard kick? Is it in the
Middle
air?
kick.
It's down and middle
Yeah,
kick.
so you can continue into an auto double from that.
Yeah, because what's nuts about that is that you do the Widow's Bite, and then it's like, all right, you're coming in, and then you can cancel into a jump off of that, and then it looks like it'll be a cross up, but if they press down M
Like
early
the
enough,
exact right
it
time.
won't
Yes.
be a cross up. It'll be totally ambiguous. So there's just so many. I can't stress how much more mix up potential and how much more mind game potential there is in this game than there was in the original game.
What's happening in this game is that, like, what we're really trying to embed into the game is that constant interaction. And I just hate to sound like a broken record, but what this does is that it embraces the player to excel by playing based off his style. Like, one character can be played multiple ways. Like, we have guys in-house who play a Glacius runaway game that just do phenomenal. And they try to run out the time as much as possible, build bars safely. But then there's idiots like me who constantly want to play at like that 0 to 1 meter range.
Right.
Always trying to like, I'm risking my health bar to gain additional meters so that I can continue with a rush and open you up and some stuff like that. And then there are other characters that like to play the balance game or any other style. And I think that's what's nice about this is that, yes, we can go in a theory of like, okay, this character beats this on paper, but how are you as a player? Can I read you every single time? Are you always going to do heavies as a linker or as a manual or as an auto double? And I think that's like how this game is going to evolve. Like who's got better endurance? Who has better? It's not just execution. Who's
got better Yomi? Who's got the better?
Who's got the Yomi?
Who's got the mind games, the brain games? And that's something that we were talking about a little bit earlier, Rich. Is that my favorite
Orchid.
fighting games are always ones where. I mean, I love learning matchups. I think that's interesting. That academic approach to fighting games, I think, is fun. In case anyone at home can't tell, I'm a total fighting game nerd about numbers and strategies. But what I also love the most, I think, is fighting games that get you fighting the other player as opposed to the other character as soon as possible. And when you have so many opportunities for mix-ups, mind games, reading what they do and countering it, that's when you instantly get it. It's Vince versus Rich. It's not Orchid versus Thunder. And I like that. That's exciting to watch.
So speaking of the Orchid versus Thunder
Let's do this
matchup,
thing.
here
Let's do it.
it's happening.
So we're gonna go Thanksgiving ham.
Nice and glazed, well roasted.
All right, and we're going to get some questions from the community here in a second.
Cool.
If you
Awesome.
do have any questions, tweet at
know that's how you wanna roll.
IGN.
We're
And,
running for
our
real
social
this
team
time.
over there, Eric, Vasilis, and everybody will feed me the questions so I can look all fancy reading them live on the stream.
You always look fancy, yeah. So no matter what you're wearing, no matter where you are.
Well, thank you. Well, guys, it doesn't look like she's dealing so well with that grappler at the moment.
She's in the lead.
She got the life lead. She got the life lead right now. That's the thing. Is like, she doesn't have the option against Thunder to like, hey, let me play from like mid range or far range. It's
Yeah.
like, nope.
Yeah, this was the matchup I was really interested in because my two favorites so far are Orchid and Thunder, and I was just wondering like how is she going to deal because she wants to get in close. How is she going to deal with a character like him who's a big grappler with a big punish at the moment?
Yeah, with counter breakers. Like it's gonna be about making the right decision, like to initiate with, and then like if you don't make the right decision, just knowing how to kind of cover your retreat.
It's so hard to talk when you're losing.
And it's hard when you play this game because like you're in this game you are constantly, even when you're in the middle of a combo, you're thinking like, hey, should I use my light linker instead of my medium linker? Hey, is this the time when I should go for a counter breaker? Like you're constantly thinking about what the other person is thinking and how you can outsmart them. So games are already hard enough to play while you talk, but I can imagine trying to play a good match of Killer Instinct while you're talking has got to be really rough.
Her neck did not
Welcome
move
to
right after
America.
getting stomped.
Welcome to my world. Ooh, the wall splat ender.
jeez.
I like it. Ooh, it's an instant cancel. How dirty
Wow.
is this gonna get? Are we gonna
Thunder
see, is this
has
gonna be
these
ultra?
ridiculous
Oh my god, nice
comebacks.
read. Wow. Okay, went for the throw reset, but good read. there.
Oh,
Uppercut.
I'll let you see how this plays out. Who's going to take this? Oh,
Oh my
tried to
God.
hit the cross up.
This is very deadly, folks.
Pressure. Oh, is that it? Oh!
Had to play it safe.
Nice play.
There's going to be
No,
some insane
so-
matches between these two characters.
There's a lot that changes in that match depending on, again, the resources.
Yeah.
What makes it hard for me is when she activates her instinct. She turns on this rush, and what my answer normally would be, which would be to kind of like play patient, oh goodness, and wait for, and try to get a shadow counter out there, it makes it really difficult. Because even in situations where I normally would be able to do a shadow counter to beat a string, she throws out the cat.
Right.
Yeah.
Beats me out, and that basically acts as an opener.
Yeah.
And
Dave, is just like a shadow move after the ground bounce from the air throw? Is that optimal, or are there other things you think that'll be worth doing?
It depends. The optimal way to spend your shadow meter is in combo.
Oh yeah, definitely.
but-
It's not optimal meter spending, but is that optimal damage or is there
Optimal
other?
juggle, yes. I think
Okay.
so.
Because I'm
the
sure
way-
there's resets you can set up off
Yeah.
that too without using the shadow.
Yeah.
It's
Hint,
fun
I
to-
want to see one of them.
It's really fun to watch Rich trying to answer questions because he'll do it for a little bit, and then he's like, "All right, I gotta do something really quick." Give me
I've
this.
had enough of this.
He's like, hold on, guys, I gotta body some fools.
Yeah. Yeah, both characters have highs and lows. Like to really like switch it up mid combo. It's gonna be really interesting to see this matchup.
So what's the deal with Thunder's instinct? I don't think I know how his instinct works.
Oh.
Or what's special about it.
So I'll let them answer that.
Okay.
So Thunder's instinct has recently undergone a couple little tweaks. So
Okay.
he's always had the invincible dash. So it's 24 frame dash that covers a lot of ground.
And it's invincible for the duration.
for the second half of it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, for the first half. Sorry.
All right. So it's punishable.
Yeah, but and it can go through characters. But what we've recently added that's really cool
Yeah, I'll show
is
it real quick.
is that now you can also cancel the dash into specials, and you can special cancel
Which is really sick.
specials into the dash. So you see Rich is doing basically the triple axe, canceling that into the dash, back into the triple axe.
What I could do, if you could block, let me show a really cool example of the utility of this move. So, well, what I
just
should
ran
do is
out of-
actually have it. But there are instances where, okay, he blocked my triple axe. I'm going to cancel the last frame, hop on the other side, and then do my ankle slicer.
Yeah.
So you have to be reactive to the block, and I think that that's a really cool thing.
Because then it's a left-right mix-up and a high-low
Yes.
mix-up. Yeah.
Okay, so we do have a few questions from Killer Instinct fans like ourselves. Maybe I should let you finish this match quick.
This is a tense moment.
Oh, there, it's over.
Let me show the
What do you got?
instant cancel.
Oh,
Get the cat to hit her right in.
nice.
Feed us the questions.
All right, so the question is from VG Wonderland, and he asks, what is the highest combo for Orchid in the Double Helix office right now?
Since it's one of those things where we're trying to make sure she's polished up as possible, I don't think that there's a high number, but I could probably get a good 120.
Yeah.
Oh,
Theoretically,
really? A good one,
she's
Shani?
easily over 100 with the instant cancel in the middle. And with Jago follow-up, she can get at least 10 hits, so she'll be over 100.
She's got something right now where she can get a lot of hits. It could change, which is one of the few characters that could hit 3 ultras. But who knows? That could change.
Mech82 is wondering, if you buy the $60 edition, do you get all the classic costumes, accessories, and Shadow Jago?
Oh, well, that I guess what he's talking about is the Pinterest. So Pinterest.
The pin edition.
The pin edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be getting everything. You're gonna be getting everything
Pinterest
that you normally
edition.
would in the Ultra Pack, and then along with that, just like the exclusive stuff, which is going to be included for the Penny Arcade folks. As far as Shadow Jago, we haven't gotten into too much detail for that yet, but I think that this is something that a lot of people have been asking, so we'll address it pretty quick, like as soon as possible.
Okay, cool. And one more question, which I would also like to know, is will KI's soundtrack be available to purchase?
Ooh.
That is from Xylus3.
There have been no announcements on that yet.
Come on!
Such a good
You're on
question.
our couch, Dave! This is not a no answering question
Please take
zone.
my money. I want to buy your stuff.
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one for now.
Hopefully the fifth.
Okay.
We know the demand's there. A lot of people
Yeah.
just really, really want it. And
Yeah.
for something that was in the original, so we just want to let people know that we definitely hear you out.
You could just give it to us. I mean, that's fine.
That could also happen.
So, after this matchup, we were going to take a look at Dojo mode next.
Yeah.
Dojo and training mode. I don't think we've really gone too, or you guys haven't gone too in depth on it yet. So,
We're going to take it to the next level with it.
oh, all right,
All right.
sweet. Yeah, I'm interested to see what it's all about.
We're gonna reach heights. never before
We're
reached.
interested to see how you play it out.
Yeah.
See, you thought you're coming.
Yeah. Poorly.
To,
I'm guessing it's
we're
going
gonna
to be
turn
poorly.
the interview around. No, but there's a lot of great things that, I'm sure it's not just us, but other developers of fighting games want to do, which is get people educated and teach them more about the system that they're playing. But what we want to do as a team is like not only do that, but let it be relative to the other fighting games that you play. Like if you're playing this, there's a chance that you're playing the other fighting games. So like, why not get everybody godlike? So,
Yeah, absolutely. Get everyone to the level.
and I'll let you navigate back over there. So we're gonna hop on over to Dojo.
Okay, so should we bring it back here?
I think we'll be good because we want to. Actually,
All right,
David.
oh, yeah,
This
here
is
it is.
David's baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like Rich was saying, the basic goal of this is to take the beginner player and teach them what KI
So I'll be
is.
playing.
Okay. So as you can see, there's 16 basic lessons. Just real quick as a preview, hit RB.
Okay.
And you'll see there's another 16 advanced lessons. So we've got the gamut. Basically, the beginner lessons are going to sort of teach you the basics of fighting games, and then the basics of how KI works. And then from that, we're going to start building in more advanced knowledge when we get into the advanced lessons. And those really are starting to get into like, what is a frame trap? How do you read frame data? Things that, we take for granted, but that people who haven't played fighting games aren't familiar with. So.
Right. And that's one of the things.
Super basic. I got that one. I feel good about that one.
But even
What
on
if you
this-
never played a fighting game, though?
No,
You know what I mean?
no, I
So-
totally get it. Like the dashes, maybe people don't know about that.
The thing that I find really wonderful about this is that fighting games are one of the few genres where I feel like the actual mechanics, like how you actually really play them, are for the most part hidden from the typical user. Most people don't know. It's like if you played Mario, you didn't know there was a run button. And I feel like people when they play fighting games, they're only seeing half the game, and people assume that all the other stuff.
Sorry.
People assume that all the other stuff is just, that's just for the super hardcore players. And it's like, no, there's not. Like, if you're the kind of person who logs on and plays some Call of Duty or some FPSs, like, and you have enough skill to go, do decently at that, you have enough skill to play
Actually,
a fighting game too.
You know what we did?
Sure.
We
You just have to learn.
We
and
ran
be
through a
taught.
couple. We have some specific ones that we really want to showcase, just for people of multiple levels of skill for fighting games, or
Sure.
maybe just people who play games and never played a fighter. And then we have something special for you, which is the combo trial. So prepare for that because I don't think that that's ever been shown yet, and it's the last lesson, but we're gonna skip on over to it and see how you do.
we'll
Because
hand-
from what
I
we've
do-
heard,
We'll hand the stick to you.
from what we've
Oh,
heard,
okay.
and I want to see if you can do it. You got skills. I'm not going
Okay.
to deny that.
So this is a really great lesson that teaches combo breaker. So one of the unique mechanics in KI, in case you haven't played previous KIs or just want to get more information about it. And this takes you through what you were talking about earlier, Vince. That you break lights by hitting lights, mediums by mediums, heavies with heavies. And one of the keys of that is to do that you have to be able to read the animation. So what we do here is we actually freeze on the frame of the animation,
Oh,
show you
nice.
the buttons. To really sort of start to teach people, okay, this is the animation you look for. When you see it, you hit these two buttons. Boom. So we sort of give it to the player the first time, and then we repeat it a couple times so you can see the animation.
Oh, I like
sort of
that.
learn it
That's
that
nice,
way,
Because I was
so-
asking you about this like at Evo and stuff. Like, how am I going to be able
you
to
gonna learn?
tell?
Yep.
And then here, you'll see medium punch. You got to look for the elbow. That's
Elbow,
the
yeah.
close medium punch. So when you see that, it becomes a tell. And this just sort of takes you through all the doubles, so you learn how the mechanic works, and then the timing also. Here I'm going to intentionally miss one and show you another neat feature. Oh, what was that?
Yeah.
And now here it explains what a lockout is, right? So if you screw up a breaker, you're going to get locked out, and here it explains, hey, that's why you got a red X over your head, and what the consequences of it are. So I think it's a nice way to just sort of teach, one of the core mechanics in the game.
Sweet. Well, yeah, let me give it a shot. I think I can do this.
All right, this one.
Okay.
This one you should be able to do.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, these are lights. These are pretty quick.
All right.
So look for the jab.
Got it. Oh.
Okay. The challenge is now.
All right. So now what happens?
Oh, sorry, just
Breaking
real quick.
points
This is
on us.
a neat little side note.
And this is
If
the
you
first
are-
time that people will actually be hearing about this.
Oh, really?
Too.
Yeah, so if you're a pad player, one of the great things we added in is that the right analog stick you can actually use to brake. So if you hit up, it'll break heavy breakers, left or right will break mediums, and low will break lights. So it's a
okay.
great way, we sort of mapped that, made it really easy for pad players.
So
Some
instead of
people-
like doing this, you just go boom, boom, boom.
Exactly.
Well, in consideration for people who like to play on point,
Yeah.
that thumb is right there just for that analog. Because like I'm one of those guys, so I like 2 buttons like this, but I like my all 3 and 1 button bind. So
So if
another
you're-
way to break.
So if you're playing on the stick, are you using the
It's the right analog.
you use the right analog?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sweet. Are you able to remap the controller?
Absolutely.
Oh,
yes.
okay. Cool.
You're able to remap buttons, but not this feature.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
okay,
this
okay.
will just remain static, and you can change like, oh, I want my lights over here. You can do like the old Super Nintendo where it's like mediums and heavies and lights on
Yeah.
the tops.
Nice. So wait, what am I doing here?
So now we're just sort of switching it up on you and see if you've actually learned what the animations are.
Oh, okay.
So that was medium. Nice
Nice.
job.
Nice.
Yeah.
Medium
That was
again.
medium.
That was light.
Uh-oh.
There you. Well, just
Wow,
don't
you
hit
gotta be
medium
quick.
every time.
That was heavy.
33% chance. Go for it, D.
Medium. Medium. There it is.
There you go.
Yeah. I can call it out after I screwed it up a few times. Kick autos.
Yeah. So this will run you through the same thing, but
Okay.
Yeah, let's
helping
move
you
on to.
helping you recognize like the kick animation. So
Oh,
We
okay.
got
So this
the
is
next one's
easier
cool,
than
too.
kick
Yeah.
Okay. We can just tear through this really quick if you want. No, it's okay.
We don't want to get you too good at this.
yeah, we gotta look good
yeah. Okay.
We want to be
They're
able to
building
live.
you up. They're building
while
you
we're
up.
here.
So I'll jump into this one real quick.
This one's a
50.
cool one.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people when they first start playing fighting games have a lot of problems dealing with fireballs and projectiles. So this is one of the things that we specifically addressed with this lesson. We basically put together 7 different ways that you can handle dealing with projectiles in KI. So the most obvious one is a neutral jump.
Yep.
And what's neat here is because fireballs go different speed, you'll see above Jago, you can see whether it was the heavy punch, which one it was. This is one that is tough to learn at first, but really important way to deal with it. Just sort of
Walking forward and blocking.
Yeah. Classic,
Important skill.
Yeah.
but it'll work.
These are these are fighting game fundamentals.
These
that
are
apply,
fundamentals.
That
You know,
apply to
closing
fighting games.
space.
Yep. It applies no matter what.
So you're teaching us all of these with Jago. Do you have any other options for teaching like an Orchid tutorial sort of like this?
So right now we're using Jago because he's sort of the balanced character to
Yeah.
teach the overall mechanics of the game, and that's what's going to be available.
Yeah.
Okay,
And not only
cool.
that, I mean, for the people, for the early adopters who are just trying,
Yeah.
Killer Instinct, let us teach you the most about the guy that you're going to have access day one.
So day one, you do get access to Jago. So this is available launch day, Xbox One. You're probably not at all nervous about that, right?
Not at all. We're ready to rock, man.
Yeah.
Ready to rock.
And does it come with this Dojo mode to teach new players, or is this something that comes with a purchasable version?
Yes.
well, wait, which is it?
All modes, all modes are included in the initial downloads.
Okay.
And we want you to get good. We want you to feel good about playing this game. Get a couple of wins. I mean, you'll be able to go online. You'll be able to play with your friends and do all that stuff. So learn with us, grow with us, kick some butt,
That's
rank
what it's
up.
all about. Like people, in my opinion, people only play so long when they're just hitting buttons.
Yes.
Like they might find it fun and interesting for a few hours or a couple of hours or whatever. But once people understand like how to not just play the game, but how to play the person across from them, that's when people start drinking beers and getting rowdy and getting hype and having fun and getting together every week to play and get better. And that's what fighting games are all about.
So one more thing before we hand it over to Destin for the big trials
Oh.
is another cool feature in the dojo is demonstrations. So for some of the more tricky concepts like a cross-up that a new player might not understand, we actually have the AI sort of show you the timing and the distance to do them. So here you'll see we're trying to teach a cross-up. So here I'm not doing anything, this is just the AI showing you. And what's neat is, you can pause it, you can frame step through it if you really want to analyze.
Oh, wow, that's really nice.
Where do I do things, So,
That's a great
I like
teaching
that.
tool.
it's a really cool feature. And then after you've seen it, twice. Now let's see if I can repeat it. You know, you sort of learn the timing of it. So something that we thought was really cool and will help people hopefully, you know, learn the tricks that we've all learned over years.
Sure. Is it? I'm just curious, real quick on cross-ups. Is it generally jumping medium kick for most? Is that
Character
almost
specific.
It's very character specific. Okay, because jumping medium kick is like almost like the poster child for cross-ups in a lot of games. But okay, that's cool. Different ones.
This is a question from Mech82, and I'm actually kind of curious. How big is the download going to be for the game?
File
you guys
size,
know?
I don't think we've released that yet.
Yeah,
but I'm not too
idea?
sure. 7 bajillion.
60 gig download.
Not too sure, but I think that's
all the
something
GBs.
Yes.
How big's the hard drive? That should have been your response. You want me to try a godlike? Okay.
Here's time.
This will be interesting.
So this is the
So
last.
this is the rest of the stream.
Yeah. Grab a.
Should we
grab
do a
drink.
cutoff time?
Yeah, give me like 2 minutes time.
2 minutes, all right.
So this is the last lesson in the dojo where we try to pull it all together and sort of teach a lot of the mechanics in single combos. So each of the combos here has sort of a different thing it's trying to teach. So I believe this first one is trying to teach you how you can shadow cancel on specials. So hit A to continue. Oh, sorry, this is a corner only combo. So you'll learn that some combos can only be done in corners, and this is one of them.
Whoop. That's a good start.
So the fourth one is going to be the wall bounce for you.
All right. Nope. I told you this is going to be bad.
The heat is on. Another neat feature while we're watching the attempts here is you'll notice over the AI dummy, you'll notice the sort of text explaining the part of the combo that Dustin's in, and that's really important to sort of help people teach, you know, what is an opener, what is a linker. There you'll see the ender mark. So it's a
manual.
It'll show manuals also. So it's a great way to sort of start to learn how the parts of the combo work.
And you know, if you're one of those guys that just need to understand the science behind your combo strings and you know how you put it together, it's something that you can also enable in like the training mode as well.
That's great.
So and you know, within that training mode, you know, you can activate hitboxes. You can see the properties and the frames of the moves.
You can activate hitboxes and frame data.
And it's also one of the lessons that we go through here as well. It's like we teach you how to get a better understanding of how hitboxes work in a fighting game.
It is so key. So few. You know what's so funny is that Marvel does not have that on console.
But on
the
Vita
version, it does. It doesn't make any sense at all. But that's really great. Like when we're done with this, I really would love if you could show me that. That really excites me. That's the kind of stuff because you guys know, it's all about the lab time. It's all about sitting down in the lab and cracking out and finding new tech and like learning all the properties of your moves. And you know, I love being able to do that. And I think more and more, it's becoming more and more important for players to be able to do that without having to go to YouTube, without having to go, Google something. Like putting all that information right in the game, baking it right in there.
Yeah, it's just
you're giving people the tools they need to get better.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. I think I'm going to give up. I'm going to do one more try. For now,
So
just because this isn't exactly the
one
most
try, Dave.
One try.
Okay, one try.
One try.
You get one try.
We're doing this
I get
live.
2 minutes.
Do it live.
If you don't do it, we're leaving the game. Oh. Do the launcher ender.
All right. Oh wait, what's this?
And then it gets crazy.
Then they get a little harder. So let's jump
That was the
in.
warm-up.
Yeah. So that was a great segue. Let's jump into the training mode.
Which is where I need to spend some time.
I'm tweaking out right now. Like seriously, I'm like, I can't believe there's hitboxes and frame data right in. Like, I want to see it all.
So, I mean, in that 32 lessons as he's setting up right now, it's not just 32 straight objectives that you need to do. Within those, categories, there are different levels of that. So, expect to hang in each one of those missions or modes or whatever you want to call it, like for a good amount of time.
Yeah.
So that this way, if you went into learning about hitboxes, you're going to leave understanding about hitboxes.
Yeah. No, like playing Street Fighter 4 when that finally came out, I just stayed in training and like went through all that stuff and kind of learned a few characters, and then you build upon that after you get your basics. Yeah.
So here, let me take you through some of these options.
I want to give a shout out to your sound designer first. Just going up and down in the menu plays like the do 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 do. That is
Nick.
awesome.
Jed
job,
Nick.
Jed.
Good job.
And for all those people out there who like to make menu music, I know I'm one of them. I totally do that. Pisses off my girlfriend
air
to no
guitar
end.
with so these are the sort of starting dummy options. One of the coolest features here is you can set them to combo break on only heavies, mediums, or lights, or
Sweet.
random. Like I noticed, Vince, you were leaning on
I was
heavies
leading on
for a
heavies
little bit.
before, yeah, I was.
So what you could do is turn this on heavies and then play, and then anytime you do it, you'll get broken and you'll quickly learn, okay, don't do that. So cool little quick option. Turn this back off. So here's where the real meat comes in. So the display combo state, which we showed earlier,
Right.
But the feature everyone's talking about is display hitboxes.
I can feel the grin.
I'm just like,
Oh, nice.
oh my god.
So there's a lot to look at, and I think in the actual training mode you go. But Dave can tell
So
you right
in
now.
the training mode, we go through what each of these boxes mean and how
Yeah,
they
right,
work.
right.
But the key ones for the beginning players are the green outlines around the characters. Those are the vulnerable boxes.
Wait, those are hurt boxes.
Yep.
Those are hittable boxes.
And when a red attack volume hits the green volume, you're going to score a hit.
Right.
Boom.
The red, so the red is the hit. Red is the hit. Green
Yep.
is the hurt.
Yep. So
And what's the yellow theoretically?
So the yellow is what we would call the character capsule. So whenever
Okay.
those two touch, you'll see I start to push the character.
Okay. I
And that
understand.
determines like when you're going to cross up and not cross up.
Oh,
also.
okay. Wow, you even have that. That's
Yeah.
most very few fighting games have any kind of hitbox information in them. But even the ones that do, it's usually just the hurt and the hit. You don't really see like where your character is and where it's like if it's gonna cross up or not.
Have you guys ever seen anything like this in any other fighting games? I mean, I haven't seen it before.
I mean, the
Are
only
you the
other
first
one that
people
I've
to do it?
seen was what Vincent had mentioned earlier with
the
the
Vita version
Vita
of Marvel.
version of Marvel. But
Okay.
There have been one or two other games that have had
Well,
modes where you can turn
Skullgirls,
on.
to give out a
Yeah,
little
Skullgirls
shout,
had theirs
shout
as
out
well.
to
Right.
Z.
Zig.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Love Skullgirls. Yeah, but this is the first time
is
I've
awesome.
seen it where it shows the core and whether it's going to cross up or whether it's
And
not.
another cool one here, so you see the blue outline around the yellow, that's the throw vulnerable, and this is the throw active. So you see it's different colors. When those two connect, you get a throw.
That is exceptional.
And you'll see
Oh
there
my
a shadow
God.
move. We all know the shadow wind kick is throw invulnerable.
Right.
How do you make that happen as a programmer? If you want to geek out, you just turn the blue box off so you can't be thrown. So you can go through the shadow moves and figure out what they really do.
So you can see what's throw invulnerable,
Yep,
what's projectile
absolutely.
invulnerable.
And
But
then,
there might be easier ways to do that if you're not as in tune to hitboxes.
so this might blow your mind.
Every single attack will have its frame data available in the dojo. So standing medium kick.
Wait, hold on. So I see the hash marks, the slashes. So is that startup, active, and recovery?
Correct. Exactly.
Wow.
And then below it is
Heaven.
below it is the advantage on hit and on block.
Oh, that's a static difference for both hit and block?
Yeah. So. So
numbers, people,
probably
the
one
numbers.
of Jago's. Rich loves this move, but close medium kick.
Yeah.
+4 on hit. Very good. Very good.
Show me, we were talking about this before, show me light laser blade.
Light laser blade. So well, but the linker property will be different. So recovers in 21 frames, very fast. And then another cool thing is when you do shadow moves, you'll see attack property, throw invulnerable.
But
So-
if we can go back to doing the linker version of the shadow. So that's +3 on hit.
Yes.
So that's why I was saying for the reset
Yeah.
before, you hit that and you got 3. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
So good. Like I can see like I'm gonna want to go into this and find out like what the best linkers for like resets are and oh my god.
Lab time is going to have sort of new meanings now. So.
Yeah. This is really sick, guys. So
Hard
and I see
knockdown.
hard knockdown, right? So the sweeps are hard knockdowns. Throws are obviously hard
Throws
knockdowns.
are hard
That's
knockdowns
typical
also.
Street Fighter stuff. Are there any other moves that cause a hard knockdown outside of that, or not?
Some special moves, for instance, Jago's ankle slicer, if you're not aware, is actually a hard knockdown.
Oh, nice,
So,
cool.
A couple moves have that property.
Well, sweet. Do you guys want to hop back in and see some more Orchid? Do we need to cover anything else on Dojo?
There's one more thing about practice that
Okay.
I wanted to ask, just because I saw. You can jump back into it for a second. Right, display combo state. What I wanted to ask you in the past, in the screen before, there's a very common setting which is for counter hit.
Yes.
What is this is a thing about fighting games that a lot of fighters kind of work away from. They don't really do a lot with. What are the properties of counter hits in this game? Like, are there counter hit only combos?
That's a really good question.
So, great question. Counter hits give two benefits. First, they add additional frames on hit.
Right.
So
Okay.
a light, for instance, gives you +2 if it's on counter hit,
Okay.
+3 for mediums, +4 for heavies, +6 for specials. So if you get a counter hit on a special, you can manual into pretty much anything.
Cool, nice.
And the other thing it does is it increases the damage, generally around 25 to 50%.
And,
So-
and does it increase that damage just for that first hit
just
of the
for the
combo?
initial hit.
Okay, cool.
So for instance, counter hit air attacks will do, pretty chunky damage.
Cool. I just wanted to know. So, but it sounds like there are counter hit only combos where if I
Yes.
if I hit like a counter hit standing hard punch or
exactly.
something,
Like
I
a
might be able
counter
to,
hit, close medium kick will grant
So
me more frames to do
This is
a
a perfect example. Close medium kick into
Yeah.
that combos, and it would not combo and
Right.
outside of counter hit. So.
Cool. Yeah, I like that. There's actually like counter hit exclusive links.
Yeah.
Stuff that's cool.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
The filthy combo.
Yeah.
Maybe one last thing should we show? I don't think. Oh, sorry. We should show here
Show it.
Is-
Whatever it is.
CPU recording.
Yes.
Oh.
Nice. Awesome.
So we'll just do a couple of these, and then you go back and go playback, and now they'll play back. So you can get, for instance, for me, I want to learn how to shadow counter this every single time.
Sure,
So
absolutely.
I'm just going to have them do a couple of these, and then
Nice.
you can just practice
Awesome.
over and over. So
Yeah.
you can learn how to sort of, counter any attack that you've seen people do.
Which is good because especially with some of the nasty setups you can come up with in this game, it would be great to like replicate them, record them,
Absolutely.
And then,
Like,
so
figure out
that's-
like, hey, is this really hard to block? Is it an actual mix-up? And
I can see right now.
record functionality is just one of
so
those.
big.
It's the go-to these days for a lot of the hardcore players.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Like we recognize that. Why not? Let's rock.
Because I know against Sadira, her instinct mode where she puts out those web traps, there's some really dirty setups with the
Yeah.
web traps. I'm gonna want to lab those and
Absolutely.
I'm gonna want to record myself doing those and then just sit there for 20 minutes, an hour, hours, just finding out the best ways to blow them up. Cool, awesome. Thanks for showing us
Sweet.
that, guys.
Well, thanks so much for showing us that. And let's hop back into some
crazy matches.
combat with Orchid. Let's talk Orchid and Sadira. Do you think that would be possible? Show that matchup?
Oh yes.
The two ladies of KI.
See the ladies go toe to toe.
Okay, so yeah, let's do it.
Okay, the stage is unlocked, or should we?
I think it should be. Yeah, this is a very, very interesting match for me. I really enjoy this match. So it's, for Sadira, who always in the air doing special moves from the air, and then Orchid having an air throw. It just, it makes things really crazy for her. And I think, depending on Sadira, if she actually has bar, like she's able to mix a lot of things around.
Okay. So while you guys are setting that up, I wanted to ask you a question. What's it like taking this franchise and like being able to run with it?
Sorry, what was that?
What's it like taking this franchise, Killer Instinct, and being able to do what you want with it, like adding a new character, for example?
Oh, well, it is a dream, obviously. Like, we talk about this, and we've talked about, man, if one day we got to do a fighting game, how sweet would that be? And then it ends up being Killer Instinct. It's just like everyone's jaws dropped at the office. So, amazing opportunity for us. There's a ton of pressure also, though. Like, you see, like, just how many people are, I'm sure, watching this. And on the forums, like, we get, a lot of pressure. Like, people played this game as their childhood, and they remember it so dearly. And it's like, you've got expectations to live up to.
Sure, absolutely.
So, it's exciting and a little nerve-wracking at times, but I think so far it's been an absolute blast. Putting together our first original character was like a dream come true for a lot of people at the office. Like, how many people get to create a fighting game character? And to get to be a part of that process was just amazing.
She looks great too. She is like for not having any art to go off of or any history to draw from. I think you guys did a great job of creating someone who fits into the universe. And that's not easy to do when you've got an established universe and you've got established characters that have a special place, like you said, in people's hearts from their childhood, from their adolescence, for a long time. It's really tough to create something that jives, that's new, that jives with that. So that's terrific. Like, how do you approach that process?
It's interesting. The Sadira process was actually a long one, as you can imagine. Our first character, like where she started out and where she is today, is actually quite different. I think that's healthy.
We were
Like,
talking about
we took the time to sort of play the game, see what was working, what wasn't working, and sort of develop her over time. We didn't just go, okay, here's the design, make it happen. And I think that led to something special. I was telling Rich on the way over, when I knew we had something, was we do focus testing in the office, and people came in and were like, wow, this character is awesome. She belongs in KI. And then the next focus test we did, we were actually focus testing Orchid, and some people were like, let me play Sadira instead. So we're like, oh wow. So that was a moment where I was like, all right, we've got something good here.
It's really interesting how you've put so much into her air mobility. Like when I first saw the reveal trailer and some of her combos, I was surprised. It looks like she has, I think, 3 air actions.
Well, she's got the down medium kick. She's got the Widow's Bite and the Shadow's Widow Bite.
Right, but I mean, like she can go into the air and then do a special.
Sorry.
She can do a special. She can do Widow's Bite, but then she can do a jump after that, and then she can do another move after that. I mean, having 3 air actions in any game, it gives you so many options and so many different vectors from which you can approach. Like I think what I said in the Rewind theaters, it reminded me of some anime characters where they can like jump over you and then double jump back and do like double cross ups or fake cross ups. I love stuff like that, and it's cool to see a character like that in KI because they really haven't had one like that.
The double jump is so much fun.
Yeah.
You know, just jumping over, attempting, or making it look like you're going to go for a cross up, then jumping back.
Yeah, the okey doke.
Yeah, just crazy amounts of oki, amazing, an amazing offensive game against somebody who's just waking up. You know, that oki game for her is just super crazy. But I think we're just going to do this thing.
Just go in. No
So,
remorse.
does anybody in the office prefer Sadira over all the other characters? Is that anyone's favorite yet?
Probably John's. No.
Yeah.
Probably the people who worked on her the most.
Yeah.
But no, I think she turned out to be a great character, and I think whoever the character we're working on right now is the favorite of everyone's in the office.
She looks ridiculous. Like we were doing the Rewind, just watching some of her setups, and it's like,
We were losing our mind.
oh wow,
Yeah, and some of the stuff I saw with Webb, I can't wait for you to pop. Yeah. Do the dirty stuff.
Like I know what characters I want to pick, and I'm just watching that trailer when you guys released it, and I'm just like, I don't want to fight her. I'm not gonna. Like I got to figure out what to do against that character.
That's a clutch breaker too, because you don't want to be in the corner against Sadira when she's got instinct loaded. That's just not a good look.
Man, I did a manual and everything.
She can escape the corner at will too. That's what's awesome.
Oh,
so smart.
Because it's
So
projectile.
smart. Those
invulnerable.
reactions.
Oh man, burned my instinct.
What's crazy is that every person who picks her up plays her differently, which is...
Did I just see that instinct continues to tick down during the round transition?
Yes, it does.
Oh wow, so you can really run out someone's
so-
instinct. That's interesting.
Yeah, and it makes a decision,
Oof.
like, do I use the instinct mode at the start, like sort of at the end of the
Sure.
round to take him out, or do I wait?
oh god, she is crazy. Ooh,
Just keep talking to Dave, please. He's starting to come back.
Rich, I had a question for you. Actually. No, I'll wait till the round starts to ask the question.
No, make it interesting.
So I'm sorry, you have a...
No, go ahead.
Okay, so what I was going to ask was, oh yeah. Oh, that's not a question. What I wanted to ask was, when Orchid is in instinct mode, it looks like her batons are kind of crackling with electricity. Does she have any different hit properties when she's in there, or is it just the?
It's just
The fire
cosmetic. Yeah. Her benefit is the Fire Cat, and that's
Okay.
just to sort of show she's in instinct mode.
Cool.
Every character has sort of a visual transformation as
Right,
well as
which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Sadira's is sinister looking. I'm sorry.
We actually had a question from Red Light Gamers, and he wanted to know, or she wanted to know, how will the online ranking system work? Will it be similar to Street Fighter or Injustice, or something completely new?
We haven't talked too much about the
You
online
did
ranking
during your
system.
Evo panel a little bit. Yeah, because I was there.
The ranking system, or I just want to clarify here: the ranking system or the netcode, like how well
The online ranking
Yeah, what's
system.
Okay.
The online ranking system, like, am I going to see my buddy, like...
Well, we haven't gotten into
Yeah.
too much detail, but the most that we could say right now is that there are going to be a lot of moments where it's very intense, where you have to play clutch in certain instances.
Yeah.
And we want to bring that intensity into the feel of being able to play online,
Yeah.
where if you do play rank, you could lose something. Or
Oh, really?
there could be something that you gain.
So there's
through it.
stakes in rank.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Now to clearly define those, like we're not yet. Like it's fun to keep it ambiguous
Okay,
for now.
all right.
But our goal was just like, how can we make this moment more intense? Like, what can we do to make sure that these players play the best of their ability at that moment? And I think we did it.
Do you lock them out of their character for like a day?
So
you're
I
grounded.
go to their house, we get their IP address, I go there and I do something like that. But you know, there's discussions of like, hey, how can we do it? Is a rank up or rank down or demoting or something like that? We're exploring and we're getting pretty close to it. So
Sweet. Another thing that was brought up actually during your panel at EVO, seeing this is an Xbox One exclusive, have you talked much more about your Kinect integration?
not since. Like we haven't really like what we'll. We just been playing the game a lot.
Yeah.
I can't blame you. So I'm curious because you mentioned about the ranking system that you're thinking about putting things, kind of some stakes to sweeten the pot, which I think is great. So obviously, if something's at stake, people are going to care that their losses are all legit and that it's not because of bad netcode. Like, what kind of ideas do you guys have for your netcode solution, and like how's that looking so far?
Yeah, netcode we can definitely hit up.
Yeah, the netcode is working extremely well right now. We use a GGPO-like scenario where we do use rollbacks to
Excellent.
make sure
That's great to hear.
there's no sort of input lag. We want to keep it as true to the sort of offline experience as possible. So we think it's running real well right now, and the games are turning out nice.
Yeah, I mean, like, I understand the game is not itself on GGPO, is not GGPO based, but just the idea that you guys are taking cues from the way GGPO does things, I think pretty much every fighting game fan, that was such a filthy mix. Yeah. Oh my god! I think every fighting game fan who's ever played a game on GGPO, like Skullgirls we gave a shout out to before, just runs amazingly online. So the fact that you're taking cues from that system,
Yeah.
definitely good news.
Yeah, we were even actually lucky enough to get to meet with Tony Cannon, the creator
cool,
of
nice.
GGPO. He came in, and it's been very tricky, obviously, to get the netcode right. But I think something that, like you said, is worth every moment you spend on it because it defines the longevity of your game.
Absolutely. I mean, like, there's been some great games that have struggled because the netcode has not been there. Like King of Fighters 13, what a spectacular game! But because of the state of online and the state of the netcode, it's struggled in some ways.
That was too
Oh my god, the look, the glare.
72%.
The glare.
Jeez.
I don't know what to do anymore.
He's like, I feel dirty. I gotta go home. I gotta take a shower.
And he was answering a question.
Yeah, how do you do that? Answer questions. I'm struggling
I
here.
just love netcode, man. What can I say?
He gets in the groove. Okay, we'll go to another topic just for you, Rich. Jeez. Yeah. This is getting ugly. No,
Oh
but
wow, that was amazing.
so let me ask you then, Dave. You mentioned that you talked to Tony Cannon.
Uh-huh.
Are you feeling good about the chances of Killer Instinct being represented at EVO?
We definitely would be a dream for all of us.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, we were there this year showing off the game. If that would happen, I think there would be two very happy people sitting here, and about
There'd be four very happy people sitting here.
and a lot of happy people in the office. So,
Well, I believe it was for, it was a poll to see what games were going to be in SoCal Regionals this year. And they were going to do six games, and
Sorry.
Okay. Let's see how this ends.
Oh!
okay. Sorry, I almost flubbed it.
Okay. So they did a poll to see what 6 games, I think 6 or 7 games, I'm not sure which it was, to be at SoCal Regionals this year, which, if you don't know at home, is a very big major tournament here in California. And Killer Instinct, on the strength of fans' votes, made it in right on the cutoff, even though it's not even out yet. So I think that bodes well for the game's competitive support.
I mean, we hope, man. We built this game with the intention of knowing that there are going to be competitive players who
Filthy
play this
Rich on
game.
the teams.
You know what I
know
mean?
that was.
It's got to be good. So
Yeah.
we'll make sure that if it does go up there, that the game will be like the best. Like we want it to be a truly enjoyable experience. So, plus we got mad love for SoCal Regionals. I've been a great supporter of them ever since.
Absolutely.
Like they've been throwing events. They throw a pretty killer event. We hope that if we do well there, Evo.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean?
It's a Road to Evo event,
Yeah.
so I mean, if you get on the ticket at a Road to Evo event and you perform well, and you show there's a thirst for the game, hey, Injustice proved it last year. If the fans love it, anything can happen.
So we were talking about netcode a little bit earlier, and somebody had a really good question relating to just the online experience. Castle asked, how will Double Helix deal with the rage quitters in online? Due to the ultras and double ultras, people are going to drop out. Like, have you thought about how you're going to handle that?
Absolutely, that was something that came up early in our discussions. And the second you begin an ultra sequence, the win is tallied there. So
Okay.
the person is actually free to exit as they want.
Free to exit angrily.
If the salt has become too much to bear.
Salt levels have reached critical.
Oh.
That's really good to hear too, because again, talking about how the online can affect the game's community, can affect how it develops and its longevity. Ooh, nice.
Clutch breaker.
That's a big breaker. But can he make a big comeback here?
He has a big comeback. He's got a ways
He's
to
got a
go.
tall mountain to climb here.
Yeah.
Tall mountain to
Well,
climb.
that's
Nope.
it.
There we go. The boots. The boots.
Back it up. No, but talking about how much that can hurt a game, Injustice has that situation where people are rage quitting, and it gives they're fine, but it gives the other person a loss, and it gives you that screen where you can see how many disconnects the person has, but you can't quit out and do anything about it. It's very frustrating, and it's definitely hurting the game's online community. So I'm glad to hear that it's not going to be the same with Killer Instinct. That once you lock in that ultra, you're going to get that victory.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Next up, Glacius and Orchid. Let's see how she handles this. Rich, what does she do against all this projectile? Keeping the distance.
Against
she
my
dies
Glacius,
against
she
your
dies.
Glacius.
So her slide actually goes under one of his main pokes, which is the lance, the forward middle punch. And I think that right there just kind of limits Glacius to opt out to more unsafe choices, to try to either build up chip damage or just build bar, or he's got to use things like his shatter from different ranges. But in order for the Glacius to do well, he needs to be on point. And I think that's just Glacius. He's a specialist character. You need to make sure that you're on point. You do some crazy gimmicks with the unblockable shatter attack, because if she goes in, I have to peel her off by being patient.
Yeah.
And I can't just mash out doing puddle, because when I do puddle punch, yes, I can go under the moves. If he gets a read on it and blocks it, I get a ton of damage. And I have to depend on my defense for, hitting that counter or that breaker. Sorry.
Can she? I forgot what the name of the unblockable three-quarter screen what's the name of the move again?
Shatter.
Shatter, right? So can she slide away from Shatter on reaction pretty easily?
She can go through it. So what I'll do from here is I'm gonna do a 2-in-1 from the lance to the medium shatter. I think what you can do, I could be wrong, is you can do the shadow.
The fire cat.
Yeah, fire cat. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I meant to do this. I meant to do this. So yeah, she can react even without the shadow.
So even if it happens, if it comes up right underneath her, at full screen or three-quarter screen,
So, I mean, there's enough of a tell with the light beam
Yeah,
that you should be able to jump over it.
Right. But I'm saying, is the move fast enough to slide? Because the slide looks like it's a little bit slow.
The fire cat will definitely punish full screen for that.
The game changer in this match is when Glacius activates his instinct mode.
Right, and for the people at home, what is his instinct do?
His instinct mode grants him armor.
How many hits of armor?
It'll be 5 in total right now, and what happens is I would get hit and it would recharge. So I would be able to absorb a hit, but then attack normally. Let me activate it. We'll show a quick example. So she's gonna do a low, a down middle kick. I'm gonna take it, but throw.
Yep, nice.
So, but what has to happen right now is that it's gotta regenerate in order for that property to come back.
It takes about 3 seconds to regenerate.
So what this does for me is I can go in shadow, and even if you punch or interrupt, I'll take advantage because I'll still hit you. So
Yep.
And when your instinct meter is gone, your armor's gone, right?
my armor is gone.
Correct. Okay.
Does he take reduced damage during that time as well? Or is it just armor?
He takes the full damage.
Okay, so it's normal damage.
Yep.
This doesn't seem as one-sided as I thought it was going to be. It seems like
Who
they're
did you
doing
think was
pretty
gonna
well
win?
against each other.
What, you thought this
Well,
was gonna be
you were
free for
saying your Glacius is going to dominate. But then we asked you a question.
Is that where? Do we want that? Okay, here
I
we
think
go.
he's calling you out. Rich. I think what's happening here is that you're being called out on live stream.
David's holding his own pretty well.
I knew you were going to do that.
So you two
Let's
know
in
each
your
other
head.
too.
Welcome.
Set up shop in your head, Rich.
All that walkout.
Oh God, Dave,
Okay.
Dave, not like this, Dave.
I'm not messing with him until that instinct mode goes away. Gonna try to chip me out. Chippers never win.
So
Like one more second.
is it hard? Hell yeah. This is a very hard match for Glacius, but he's been the character that I've been married to because I just love these high. There's a high level of potential if you spend enough time with him in the lab.
Yeah, definitely.
So I just fell in love with like all the crazy mix-ups and I just do really cheap stuff.
Yeah, no, he's got some dirt. He's got some real dirt. But so far from what I've seen, it looks like everyone's got dirt, and that's like what I love to see that. You know, a game can be balanced by making everyone kind of not that powerful, but that's not fun. Like Super Street Fighter 4, not Street Fighter 4, but Super Street Fighter 4, one of the most balanced tournament games, but like it got a little stale, right? Because there wasn't enough crazy stuff going on. And people didn't feel powerful. But this game, I feel like everyone's got. That's the same thing with Injustice too. I think that's why a lot of people have enjoyed playing Injustice because everyone seems to have something dirty, and it feels the same so far with Killer Instinct. It looks like everyone's got some dirty stuff, something really sick, a really cool setup, you know, or unblockable, or you know, everyone's got a little bit something that makes you go, whoa, they've got that? Wait, you can do that? That works? You know, anytime you can make the player say that works, that's awesome. That's when you know you got a fun game on your hands.
I mean, we definitely wanted to keep the game very offensive, right? Like,
Yeah.
we reward people who take risks and put in mix-ups.
Oh, too slow.
Ooh.
He's in my mind.
He set up camp up there, Rich. He's making s'mores. He's singing Kumbaya. Don't let this happen.
So in this match, what I have to do is I got to keep our resources down. So I got to be on the offensive,
Right.
trying to get as much lockdown as I can. But again, I mentioned it earlier, Glacius locking other people down puts himself in this really tough position.
It's got to be hard to keep her away too, because she wants to get in
Yeah.
close the whole time, and she can do it.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in a lot of matchups, Glacius feels like he can, at that kind of mid-range, he can throw out those pokes and be pretty all right. But I feel like in this matchup, he's got to be afraid of that slide at that range at all times.
Slide the cat.
Yeah.
You know, especially because of the projectile invulnerability.
Let me out of this corner. There we go.
Hey.
So the answer is the corner. I would
And
say.
what also, I mean, since the Firecat actually has fireball invulnerability, it makes it very hard for me to start to place out a lot of my hail holds.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what a lot of my personal game revolves around is like, what can I do to keep you grounded so I can, you know, fish out a shatter, which is unblockable.
Oof.
No!
That could be
I
it.
got lucky.
Oh, that could be it.
Oh!
I think you're gonna see that a lot in online. Got the opener, activate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You get it?
oh,
touch
almost.
earlier.
We get that before the end of the day. So you guys are mentioning a little bit about, Rich, you were mentioning about managing resources, building up resources, denying resources. So, you know, when we talk about resources, obviously we're talking about the shadow meter and we're talking about instinct meter, right?
When I talk about resources, I think my life.
Right, and life. Life is always a resource, right?
Instinct, time, and also the shadow meter.
So I guess what I wanted to get to is how do you guys make decisions about what builds meters? So for instance, how do you build instinct meter? Is it by taking damage? Is it by giving damage? When your attacks block, do you get meter? Can you whiff moves and get meter? How does that work?
So the main way you can get meter in Killer Instinct is actually very different from other games, is by causing your opponent to block.
Okay.
So that's the best way to get meter.
And that produces the most of which kind of meter?
Oh, sorry, the shadow meter.
That produces the most shadow meters, forcing them to block. So
Yep.
that's more. That causes more. That gains you more meter than even hitting them.
Than even hitting them.
Okay,
right? So
wow,
that
okay.
was an intentional design decision. We don't want people blocking too much, right?
Cool. No, I got you.
There's other ways to deal with pressure in Killer Instinct. We've given people the shadow counters. We've given them projectile, thrown vulnerable moves. So we want them to choose more aggressive options.
Gotcha. So part of the way that you deny your opponent's resources then is by not being there to block their, to block their setups.
Exactly,
You don't want to
yeah.
block the setup. You want to not be there to have to deal with the setup.
Yeah, you want to impose your mix-ups on them before they can do it to you.
Right. Which is a Marvel thing also,
Yeah.
and I like that about that game is that it's so setup heavy, and then it's like you said, it's about putting your setup on them before they get it on you, and kind of being smart about where on the screen you are.
Yeah. And then some characters have specific enders that gain meter. So, for instance, Glacius's Shatter Ender is actually what we call a battery ender. So
Yes.
you'll get meter for doing it. And Jago has one also. So,
How much meter does battery enders gain for
a
you?
level 4 battery meter will give you 50 shadow meter, so 1 full stock. So
Oh,
it is a big deal. In fact, one of the if Destin would have got through all the lessons.
Hey, be nice.
One of the cooler combos in Lesson 32 is actually a free shadow meter combo.
Oh, I get it.
Because you do the endo to get a whole nother stock and then use that in a juggle.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's cool.
So that's shadow, and then instinct meter is gained in 2 different ways. 1 by being hit,
Okay.
and 2 by combo breaking. So
Okay.
what we wanted instinct mode to be is obviously sort of the big comeback mechanic. So as you take damage, it builds up. We also wanted to reward those swings and momentum that come from combo breakers.
Okay.
Oh, let's see.
Cool, I got you. So, yeah, and what I like is that the 2 different meters are built in 2 very different ways. It's not, it's not like both of them are going to fill up at the same time or at the same rate. Depending on how you're playing and how the match is going and ebbing and flowing, you can be building up one meter but not have a lot of another,
Yeah.
and vice versa. I really like that.
So a lot of people are asking if they can use their 360 arcade sticks on Xbox One. Do you guys know that? The answer to that?
I do not know.
That's
the
a
answer to that.
Microsoft question,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And these sticks are Xbox One proprietary,
Yes,
right? So
absolutely.
Xbox One only. Yeah. Everybody wants to know about their arcade sticks. Is my 8-Art gonna work? Is my old Mad Cat's gonna work?
For me, what I can't wait for is for Mad Catz to announce a fight pad for the Xbox One. 'Cause I use their fight
Yeah,
pads.
you play with controller.
Yeah, I'm a
typically,
pad
right?
warrior. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and I have my. You've seen my Mad Catz fight pads.
Yeah.
That have the 3 and 3 layout as opposed
Yeah.
to like the 1, 2, 3, 4 and then the shoulders. So I really rely on that. Fortunately, the Xbox One D-pad for all you pad warriors out there who are thinking of playing this game and there's no Mad Catz fight pad yet, the Xbox One D-pad, the stock one, actually pretty good for fighting games. Totally usable. So it's not too much of a hurdle to overcome, but I would still love to see Mad Catz come out with one.
Yeah. No, I agree. The D-pad we playing. Mike Willett, the producer on the project,
Yeah.
went through all 32 trials on pad and had no
Yeah,
problem
it's,
doing it. So.
it's a great pad.
Yeah.
It's raining.
Oh, making it rain particles.
So after we finish this matchup, we're gonna check out one more. I think we got one character left, which is Saberwolf.
Yeah.
And then after that, we are going to talk about accessorizing. But first, let's finish this up, see what happens.
We need to do it fast.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, the pressure.
So keeping her away.
Manual.
Knows you too well. He just knows you too well. You guys are friends. You're hanging out all the time. You're fighting all the time.
Oh. See, we started. We start to turtle up as soon as.
Did you say fast?
Oh wait.
Man, the throw reset.
The throw reset.
Oh, this is
Can
gonna
she
hurt.
get anything off her throw like Jago can?
No, she can't.
She can't. Okay.
Oh, that's done. How big is the combo
Is
going
this-
to be?
It's gotta be cool. I gotta make it cool. Gotta make it.
Oh,
It's a rat.
feel like you let you have that. No, I'm just kidding.
So much pressure. So Saberwolf.
Yeah,
Some
Orchid
Saberwolf.
Saberwolf.
Orchid Saber.
This match is
fast.
fast.
This
Yeah.
match has got
This
to be
match
a
is
slugfest.
ridiculously fast. Like, so both these guys, they're fighting for that positioning.
Yeah.
Where there's a little bit of, both characters have an advantage based off of where they are on the screen. Saber, ridiculous at that 0 to 1 range, which is like face to face where those 2 hitboxes would be hitting. Orchid can really space him out if she plays with the max range from the standing heavy punch or the standing middle punch. And I think her ability to 2-in-1 into the Ichni Sun, or maybe go into the low, or maybe just do empty overhead, like those options that she has from a neutral state give her that edge. But Saber builds a lot of meter, and I think that's one of the stronger
Ragged
points
Edge
that he has.
is very strong meter builder, even on block. Like we were talking
Yeah.
So defensively, what he could do is like build towards that and hopefully get the Orchid player to just start to throw in a lot of 2-in-1s that he can open with a shadow counter with.
Oh, jeez.
I can imagine it's just because of the slug.
Yeah,
Ooh,
this is
nice
gonna be
block.
like-
Yeah, nice block.
Nice block.
Beating each other up. Oh.
Ooh, those clutch shadow counters, they feel so good.
Yeah, with that move, you just have all day to, like, oh, she hit me with that, but I blocked it. What am I going to do next? Nice.
Ooh, nice break. Oh, what'd you got for the lockout? One of the things I love about the lockout.
A nice little insane combo. That's what it is, the lockout.
That's a little
Yeah.
I really like the lockout too, because it's like once you see that red exclamation point go over their head, you're like, all right, time to go
Yeah.
ham. Time to get nutty. I don't have to worry about combo breakers anymore.
And I think that's what a lot of people are going to practice. Like, hey, what's my max
What's
damage
my
combo?
What's my max damage
Yes.
like thing to do during a lockout? Absolutely. Like,
And what's the lockout duration? 2-3 seconds?
A lockout is 3 seconds,
3
and
seconds.
the counter breaker you get 4 seconds off.
Right. So like I was experimenting before with Jago, like the around the world linkers.
Yeah.
And like I'm not sure yet if around the world is the around the world auto doubles are the optimal damage, or if it's going to be like hard auto, hard linker, hard auto, hard linker. I'm not sure which one's going to be the better damage.
It involves part of an around the world. The rest you'll have to find out. In the
Ah,
lab.
okay, all right. Well,
Remember,
so-
you don't have to do all the way around the world.
Right.
Little hint.
Yeah, so you do a little bit of around the world, and then maybe I'll see. That's why I need to get into the lab. All that attack data.
Oh, snap.
Somebody did ask, like, all those titles that unlock, are you able to turn that off if you just want, like, to clean up the UI?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
There's
Okay, cool. Yeah, your interface has gone through like so many changes just since I started looking at the game. Like, I think I saw it at E3. Well, that's when you revealed it, so that's probably when I saw it for the first time. And just seeing the changes that you've made throughout the life of developing the game is pretty incredible.
Well, I think the interface is a huge part. It's what you see all the time. So we have spent a good amount of time cleaning it up, making sure it gives you information without being cumbersome.
Yeah. Yeah, it never interrupts the match.
I could have.
Yeah, like in competitive play, also they usually avoid maps with stuff in front of the characters
Oh my
too,
goodness.
just because it interrupts the play. Ooh.
That was a lot of damage.
So I'm glad you mentioned that, because every single level in our game will run at 60 frames per second, no hitches, no drops, nothing. We want people to play the levels on versus. You won't even be able to choose the training mode map, right? Like, we want people to see the beautiful work our team has done on these levels.
I was gonna ask that. I'm like, oh, so I'm not gonna be stuck in the training mode?
Nope.
Yeah.
No Marvel 3 on PS3 blow-ups. I like that.
Jeez. He's just like poke.
He's a savage.
Where's my opening? Where's my opening?
So he's got that dash where he can pass right through other players, right?
Yeah. And that can be really tricky on wake up.
Oh yeah. I can see baiting out like wake up moves with that.
Definitely.
Getting them to whiff and then getting a big punish.
And if you do it ambiguously, it can make it really hard to block, because it's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
the same distance. So once you learn that distance, like there.
I'm sure that'll be good for resets and combos too. Like you do certain combos, like you do certain autos and linkers, and it puts you at a certain range. So that if you do the dash, you either won't cross up or will cross up.
This is a fun matchup. I just like watching them punch the hell out of each other the entire game.
Nice.
It's like, who's gonna make the mistake?
Oh.
Saber Wolf this time.
Oh, I got greedy.
Go. So
Wow.
one of the
was a
options
nice
in the
reaction.
game is to change the voice. When did you guys decide to offer the 2 different voice options?
We showed it recently. I think it's just we're constantly trying to pay respect to the OG stuff, and
Yeah.
what better way to have the OG announcer in here?
Yeah.
So No real science behind
he was-
it. Besides that, it's cool. It's such a different sounding voice. So like Chris Sutherland's voice is very different compared to the original one that's in right now.
So those are the original audio samples from the original game?
No,
No, they were
They're all new
Re-recorded, yes.
re-recorded?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
I mean, that old announcer was the original hype fighting game announcer. Like, no one got hype. No fighting game announcer got hype like that.
Whoa!
Yo, get danced on! Get
jeez.
danced on!
All right, this is
to
pretty
hit buttons.
intense.
Oh my
actually.
god!
Oh, there we go. Let's play with some cats.
I'm okay. No, just oh my god. I'm a wolf.
Oh, the Oki.
Oh, third.
Give me that opening. There it is. Oh. Shuts you down immediately.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, I need more cats.
I need more.
That's it.
So clutch!
Are you a delay?
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Yeah, the delay I thought was gonna totally kill me.
Oh! That was pretty great, you guys. Let's talk next,
Love it.
after that amazing match, about what these characters can look like with accessories.
So I'm gonna set that up for you.
Yeah.
And I think.
So if you could come back to us quick, let's
I'm gonna set
explain
that
them.
out.
Like, what are they?
So the accessories are something that we put in that I think really allows people to make the characters unique for them. So there's 3 sets of accessories per character. 2 of them are earnable through KP. So we've seen as you play the game, you earn this currency killer points, and you can use that to unlock various things in the game. And one of them is the costumes. So there's 3 different sets. The last set comes with the Ultra Edition. It's the premium accessory set as we called it. And they range from sort of expected accessories to sort of totally crazy out there accessories. We want people to, sort of be able to put some style into their characters. So the ones we're going to show today are going to be Jago's and Saberwolf. Saberwolf's are really cool. We're going to show the steampunk ones on air today, but he's also got the sort of butcher shop ones. Jago's got the ancient warrior ones. He's got wooden ones. And Glacius's ones are some of my favorite. He's got the alien ones, which we'll see on stream today. He's also got the horns, which make him look, really just badass. So, really cool feature. And what's neat is you can mix and match the different customizations. It stays with you when you go online. So it's neat to go online and show because the hardest one that you have to earn with KP requires quite a bit of dedication to the game to rank up and unlock it and then buy it. So going on stage with sort of the really cool customization shows you've dedicated a little time to the game.
So I say we beat each other up with these things.
So sweet. So
So here's Jago and his outfit. Actually, we're
Yes.
showing this right now. And this is pretty cool. So you're going to be able to customize your characters.
Yeah, so you'll see my profile has, I'll have Jago dressed up. Let's show a little teaser of Glacius.
Okay.
Boo! And the other one that I put together is Dr. Wolf.
Dr. Wolf.
Doc Wolf.
Dr.
Steampunk
Wolf. So yeah, let's go in order. I mean, what's going to be nice is that you're going to see the size of Jago's sword. And it's immense, dude. And
yeah,
what's,
watch the intro. It's
yeah. And it doesn't affect anything with the hitboxes. Everything acts as normal.
Yo,
but
damn.
I got a big sword.
You're walking softly and carrying a big stick.
Was he muffled too because he has the different
He's all
mask
taped
on?
up.
Yeah.
He's all taped
Oh,
up.
wow. Oof.
Gladiator Jago.
All right,
Switch sides.
we're gonna do the filthy combo on stream.
Oh, I tried it. Oh, I think that's
Wow.
And overhead's tough to react to.
I can just see people going crazy with these, coming up with weird combinations and stuff, just to really make their character unique. We see that already all the time. I get so into the match, I'm supposed to be moving the stream along and everything, and I'm just like, oh yeah, Killer Instinct's right here in front of me. I kind of want to just watch this.
Especially now that I saw all that stuff about training mode, I just want to steal a controller away and get lost in training mode for forever and just figure out good setups and resets and frame traps and
Yeah.
this is It's funny because this is a game that I can tell already. It's hitting it for me in terms of like just like the second to second fun and hype and the mind games and just the style. But then I can see also academically, like the fighting game nerd in me is gonna want to sit down and break things down in a very detailed way too. So
I love the helicopter
exciting.
flying through.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the laser blade looks really cool with this sword.
man, that wind kick's so safe.
Oh, nice.
I'll try and do the crazy combo.
You try to jack my laser blade reset?
How many hours have you had with these two characters? Because these are the first two you revealed. You got to know them pretty well by this point. You know.
I don't know if there's like an exact time associated with it, but a lot.
By the way,
Yes, you did.
that was
Rich, before, did I see you do a shadow endo Q-kin and when he blocked it, you had enough bust to like throw out an overhead?
Well, the thing is, if you actually go into the frame data, I'm not at plus, I'm actually at minus, but I'm just taking advantage of the illusion that it is.
Right. It's not really a frame trap or anything,
Oops.
but it's a cool way to set up pressure. That was really
Well,
nice.
let's see. I have my patented, and Dave likes it. I don't want to say what it is just yet. I need instinct though.
That's why you're landing.
Okay, here we go.
oh, thanks, Justin.
Oh, play. We need you to play.
You shouldn't have asked me to play.
It's got to be genuine, right? Like, how is it a mix-up
Yeah.
if I'm going to tell you what it is? But yeah, there's crazy stuff. Like instinct, one of the things that I like to do because you recover so fast with Jago, I'll do a nice. I'll do something like a low medium kick endokuken to shadow endokuken. And if I have instinct, I'll pop it. What I'll do against David is I'll double duck. Like I'll duck twice, almost forcing like, oh, he wants to make an attempt to do like a down middle kick and a wing kick combo. And yeah, let's move. Let's just keep going character to character. So let's see. Glacius. Yeah, there's a tons of stuff, and I think a lot of it is it stems from things like
Thunder stage.
Yeah,
This is
I really like
nice.
this stage a
beautiful.
lot.
Especially with the ultra.
Look
Oh
at
my
me.
god, he looks like an elite. I love it.
I didn't even think of that. Cross
I'd never
marketing.
think-
This is our Halo.
This is
time.
our Halo. This is the Xbox One's Halo. Let's go.
This looks like pretty kick-ass bug.
Pre-order Halo for the elite costume and Killer Instinct.
IGN exclusive.
In-house, this is like the most heated match.
Oh, really?
These two?
These two.
Oh, not one of you.
So, Rich, I'm going to guess you're Glacius.
Yes. I don't know if it makes sense, but I love playing this match against Sadira and just learning to play D against it. Because once I don't have bar, like she's got full reign to go in.
Because you don't have the shadow.
Yeah, I don't have the
shadow
cover of doing like
projectiles, right?
the shoulder into the shadow projectiles.
Right.
But she's one of the few characters too that can fight against that. Because if I do it, she can actually go.
Yeah, I can do.
She can go right through it with
Demon Blade.
with a demon blade, which is fireball and vulnerable.
Oh, okay. Even the normal version is fireball invulnerable?
Just the shadow one.
I was gonna say just the shadow one.
Nice.
Oh no, these traps. The shenanigans.
Please die. Oh, misses the juggle for the
Armor up.
Nice. That was a really good. Yeah, and she
Wow.
she does very well against his like Oki pressure because she could throw out of a lot of the things that I do.
You see the rain starting to come
Yeah, I
down.
love it.
If we get to round 3 here, because I'm predicting a supreme victory.
Oh,
Mix up.
you had that.
Oh!
Good. Oh,
Oh,
Nice reaction.
I'm gonna go
Okay,
ahead.
I guess we'll get
All
to
right.
see round 3.
a little bit more rain. Look at the rain effects on the stage, flowing off the rocks. That's really cool. Oof.
Oh no, I thought it was.
Caught him in
Didn't
the funnel.
want to deal with that.
Oof.
Oh my god.
Sadira
Oh my
with a
god,
big
cashed in the
punish.
damage.
Oh, I just tried to do an air throw. I've been playing too much Orchid.
The rain effects on that rock on the bottom, that is awesome.
Just watch it slip off and
Yeah.
Yeah, and it gets really nutty during
nice.
the ultra. Oh my god.
Yeah,
The recluse. That's
So
it.
that was the wall bounce also. Uh-oh. I think he was
Oh!
ready for it that time.
There it is. Oh, are we
Rick
going to
is
see
slapping
Hurricane
those buttons.
Glacius in a second?
Oh, should we do Hurricane Glaciers?
Yeah.
Okay, for the kids. All right. It's got to be Hurricane Glaciers.
Oh, nice blocks.
Hurricane! Woo! Oh, it's on the other side. There
There
it
it
is.
Force of nature.
Nice follow-up.
I was admiring the beautiful Sharknado in the back.
Sharknado.
Let's see. And then last but not least,
Achievement.
achievements.
Achievement unlock, Hurricane Glacius.
And then
Steampunk.
Steampunk.
Nice.
change it up. And what's cool is that each one of the accessories just matches up with the colors for now. So
Oh, nice.
Let's play in Cerebral Serena. We haven't seen that one yet.
I like the Serena.
Yeah, it's got a real creepy vibe to it. I like it.
Very creepy.
How much customization are you going to have with the tags? Because you got like KI, button masher, there's a jewel there or something. I don't know what that is.
There is a lot of it. There is
Yeah.
a lot of it. So you will be able to customize that as well as your character. Again, through KP and unlocking with various things in the game.
Sweet. So KP is like the in-game currency.
Yeah, KP is killer points in game. There's a couple different ways to acquire it.
Is that
Nice ball.
is that created by Ultratech? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Is that the currency in Killer Instinct?
Oh, that was so dirty.
I like that there's just limbs hanging off the ceiling.
Yeah, this is a perfect holiday. Yeah, this is a perfect
Yeah.
Halloween stage.
Yeah.
Oh, that was sick. I know he just manualed into a hard knockdown with the sweep.
Oh, you can do that? You can manual into a sweep?
Yeah.
Oh, we just Saberwolf can.
Oh, only Saberwolf can?
There's a
That's
few others that
so
can do it.
There's
sick.
a few others that can.
Jago can do it off of a what do you call it? A heavy wing kick linker. The only reason I didn't do it is because I was talking. If I wasn't talking, I would have went for it.
It's all my
And
fault.
I got punished. No, thank you. I appreciate it.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I really like doing that setup because it allows me to do the double dash back and forth,
Uh-huh.
which is a really some nice
Oof.
tech.
Oh, I thought you were going right.
Nice tech.
Ah, two
Oh.
people can play that.
That was
game.
nice.
Ooh,
The
that
reset.
resets.
He looks so cool when he's in instinct mode.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, right
I
in the
love
corner.
that its grapple turns you around and then you can like do whatever you want.
Oh, that was smart.
Oh,
my
wow.
God, that was
right
really
into the
smart.
overhead. That was
Yeah.
such a good decision.
Oof.
Oh, let me out of here.
Oh,
From what I've seen though, Thunder has those huge comebacks, so it might not be over yet.
That damage.
Yeah, and there
That was
goes
only a
28%.
7 combo. That was so much
Yeah.
damage.
Speaking of big comebacks.
Oh, God.
there it is.
That
Oh
could be
my
it.
goodness.
Not like this.
That's why I love that grappling character. Ah,
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
That's a perfect safe jump if you do it off the Call of the Earth Ender.
Oh, really?
For that one, yes.
Cool. Now, safe jump setups. Always a good time.
so guys, let's do a few more Orchid v Orchid matches.
Yeah,
just to show that
there's
character
a lot
off.
of cool combos that I've been wanting to show off with Orchid. And
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave's Orchid is very different from mine.
Yeah. And if you guys have been sticking around the whole stream, thank you, first of all. But be sure to tune in at the end, because around
Rebels up.
1:58, we are going to show the Orchid trailer, and there might be something worth sticking around for at the end of it.
Just maybe.
Yeah, just maybe. We'll see. Or if there's not, that's going to be a huge disappointment.
So we're not gonna say which.
We're leaving you with some treats, no tricks.
All right,
It was a trick. Happy Halloween.
now we go crazy.
No, I think hardcore Killer Instinct fans gonna be pretty happy.
Yeah. So, in an Orchid versus Orchid matchup.
Orchid wins.
Yeah, Orchid wins. Perfect.
Expert commentary.
Oof.
Ooh.
I gotta admit, we got to play a little bit with Orchid outside
Sorry
of the
about
stream.
that.
I like what you've done with the character. You got a few moves from 2. You got everything from 1. The staples of the character in there.
Except the Laserkin.
Well, I mean, enough of the original character in there.
Yeah, there's
I
plenty of it
just
there.
got taunted on the street.
That last. I'm slacking.
Yeah. So
right back
Orchid
into
fight.
that's her taunt.
Yes.
That's such a
Jeez.
godlike taunt. Oh my god.
Yeah, Orchid's been my favorite character since the first Killer Instinct. So, just thank you for treating the character right. I'm very excited to play as that character when I take it online, November 22nd, with the launch of Xbox One.
By the way, I just saw Rich do something that I don't think we mentioned. So
Okay.
every character in the game has a unique combo mechanic, right? Jago's is around the world,
Right.
Saberwolf's is the rabbit doubles.
Right.
Orchid's is double linkers.
Oh, that makes total sense because
Yeah.
she used to be able to do flick flack like multiple times in one combo, whereas no one else could do a linker multiple times in one combo before. That's awesome. So how's it work?
So basically you just do, Rich, why don't you show them, I'll talk through it. You just do the linker input twice in a row, and you can switch between medium and light, medium heavy, any combination of
Awesome.
it. So it's just another way to sort of keep people guessing and try to get that lockout for big damage.
That's really sick.
Oh!
Yours is stronger.
Cat versus cat. Cat wins.
Give me ultra!
Oh, okay. We have enough for ultra.
There we go.
Ding, ding.
I'm gonna hit it this time.
Okay, let's see. Clutch time.
One more. Nope.
Almost. So it sounds like the ultra tone, like while you're hitting them, is that stage dependent? It changes depending on the soundtrack.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's
That's,
really cool.
something Jed's been pushing hard. I think it's great. It gives every stage its own unique personality, but it always follows the rhythm of the character. So
Right,
it's
right,
a
right.
Rhythm, yeah. It's just a cool little, another Easter egg he's put in the game.
So this time at the end, who can do the biggest ultra combo with Orchid out of you guys?
I think, why don't you give it a shot, Rich? If you don't get it, I'll do it next.
No pressure.
We want to see how far this train goes.
Let me hit
I'm
you
a
little bit
sucker
to
for
build up.
gigantic combos. I love seeing just like how large the combo buildup can be. Can you get the double ultra in there?
I'm just giving you instant moves.
So much pressure. Practice.
Let's not ask him questions.
Yeah.
So, Rich, tell us a little bit about what you did last weekend.
Be very, very quiet.
All right, here we go. Practice. I'll do one without manuals because that I like to save for a later date.
Okay. You gotta hold off some of your tech for a while.
Yes.
So what are you guys gonna do when this goes online and everybody knows all your tricks?
I'll just make new ones. You gotta make new ones.
While we were setting up the stream, we came up with 2 new pieces.
I know,
that's
true.
awesome.
That's right.
So we're still finding things every day.
Oof.
Scaling's not working.
Oh, wait, no.
scale.
I wanted to stop because
Yeah.
I did instinct too early.
Oh, okay.
It's on you now, David.
Go for it.
Pressure mind games.
So, do I have meter?
Yeah, you
Yes,
have.
Okay.
You were really close to putting him in danger, though.
Yeah, and just those last like 4 or 5 hits just did
Yeah.
no damage.
I have to think my combo right now on what I'm gonna do. I have an
I
idea.
might do a little boring one, just to get the hits up there.
Well, it helps her get her combo counter out is the flick flack just adds a ton, especially if you do the heavy version of it. So it scales a bit, but yeah, you know what? Sometimes people really want that number up there.
All right, here we go. I did a bluff cancel rather than an instant cancel.
That reminded me a lot.
What did that remind you of?
Yeah, that reminded me a lot of the KI1 combo.
KI1.
Like, I think it's 42, 45 with the 3-hit Laysaken.
That combo that everybody knew.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we got to keep it natural. Like
Yeah.
that's
just-
the only
yeah.
way
Let's just let
to
it
get
happen.
to get that
Just let
high
it happen.
combo counter up there.
I
You
will
can't-
save my instinct though.
We all know here, you cannot manufacture hype. Hype has to be in the moment.
That's true. That's true.
It's gotta be genuine. Ooh, try for the meaty slide. Oh, wow, perfect spacing on that normal.
So where is Orchid? Like, where is her stage? Is she just hanging out in an apartment that's blowing up?
No, we're actually saving the location. We feel like the location that where she's at is going to tell a lot
Oh, okay.
into the story.
Because she's so tied in to the main narrative.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice combo. Wow.
God, that last hit of Flick Flag looks so much like an overhead. I bet that'll trick people too. But people will be like, oh.
I actually stand up to block it. Just have it.
Oh.
I fall for that.
Wow.
Even I would have broke it.
That patience, those steely nerves.
Yeah, that was a nice frame trap you did there with the heavy.
Okay.
Really quite evenly matched. It's almost like you work on the game or something and do this all the time.
Doing research.
Yeah.
The pressure is on right now. Final match of the night. And
Well, on that note, come back to us.
yes, it looks like trailer's ready. Yeah. The trailer's like, put me on right now.
Roll it, roll it.
Well, yeah, I guess we're good. So in a moment here, we're gonna start the trailer. Anything you guys want to say before they see it?
Well, we hope everybody's enjoying Orchid. She really means a lot to us. For a character that people call out as the one when they think about Killer Instinct, like we hope that we did her justice. And she's strong, she's hot, she kicks a lot of ass, and she does really cool combos. And hope you enjoy what we have at the end of the trailer for today.
Okay, cool. Well, let's see what we got. Nicely done. That is obviously Spinal revealed here
Yes.
on IGN.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah.
Happy
Happy Halloween.
Perfect.
Sweet. Well, anything else you want to say about Spinal, or is that for?
It's for another day, but he is shaping up. Is going to be an amazing character. Definitely in line with the past, but bringing in some new cool stuff.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Since he's
Awesome.
one of the characters that we're going to be following up with, and one of the things that we want to do moving forward as a company is really have the community involved. Like the feedback, the responses, the tweets, the messages, even saying what's up at events, like they play a huge role in how we build these characters. And we have everybody in mind. So join us for the ride. It's going to be pretty sick.
Awesome.
And yeah, man, thanks for having us, dude.
Well, on behalf of IGN, thank you guys for coming in and showing us everything. And thank you guys for tuning into the Killer Instinct live stream. Of course, for more on Killer Instinct, you know where to keep it locked, right here on IGN.